on his day off, he killed 2 people in a collision in Ireland in 87.
Oh,
He's a murderer.
fucking...
He's a murderer.
Manslaughterer.
Manslaughterer.
Vehicular manslaughter.
Vehicular manslaughterer's day off.
Oh.
Woo! But let's give him a Tony. And let's give you guys the time of day, or time of death. It is precisely Friday, or maybe Thursday, on the 3rd week of July in this year of our Lord 2019, and you're listening to the Big Damn Cast. My name is Christopher. There is a sleeping dog sat next to me, Johnson.
My name is Matthew, and she in heat, boy! Watson.
She is indeed. She's bared. It's frightening.
It is frightening.
My little baby girl has what can only be described as a tiny flesh beanbag between her legs, which is terrifying.
Not the only way to describe it, though, was it, Chris? You
Swollen,
chose those words.
Swollen dog vagina?
You chose those words.
Which would you prefer?
Neither.
Okay, well, neither would I.
Something much more vague.
I don't like... I don't like the idea of my baby girl being ready for babies.
I don't like the idea of you referring to your dog as your baby girl.
Okay. Fam. Furry fam. Sounds like fan. Speaking of, noise cancelling as usual. But if you hear a weird humming noise in the background, it's because there's a fan on. Because
it's fucking hot, boy.
It's fucking hot, boy. And you see people online talking about, people in Britain are moaning about the heat. Like, get over it. We have much more this, that, and the other. We're in Spain, here in America. Yeah, we're a country without aircon.
Yeah.
So
because we're not supposed to be this warm.
Shut your traps. But do you know where else has been hot this time of year, sweet baby Matthew?
Literally everything.
We're a pop culture podcast.
Oh, little thing called San Diego Comic-Con?
No.
Oh?
Yes.
Oh.
Ladies and gents, it is our annual. This will be the 4th Big Damn Cast.
The Fanual.
SDCC trailer buffet. We're going to be talking about all the trailers that came out at San Diego Comic-Con.
It's the Fantastic Fourth.
Yes. No trailer for that though.
Obviously.
Yet. Well, we have a D23 and an NYCC still to come. So I'm sure we'll get at least some info in regards.
I don't
to
think
that.
we'll get any more on FF this year, but we'll get to that.
Will we? We will.
Yes, but first we have to wade through some other things.
Oh, good lord.
Let's just get into it.
Oh, I thought you were going to make a joke about my dog's vagina.
No.
Good,
no,
thank Christ.
Not. I did not fuck my cat.
Was it Lindsay Ellis who retweeted that Shane Dawson tweet with an image from the Cats trailer?
Yep.
Brilliant. Good
lord. So yeah, the Cats trailer.
Yeah.
Not strictly speaking an SDCC trailer, although it did drop on the same day as the first day of the show.
It was the Thursday because it was going to be dropped on the Friday, and then for some reason they brought it out on the Thursday.
I guess they thought they predicted correctly, as it turns out, that there would be some crossover between
other news,
between pop culture Twitter and film crit Twitter.
And I still think Cats is the most talked about thing to come out of the Comic-Con weekend as of the following Wednesday when we're recording this. Cats is the thing that people are still talking about for reasons they would never have anticipated.
Morbid fascination, I think.
Yeah.
Disbelief.
Yeah. This December, you will feel disbelief.
The same reason that people are still, will still be talking about Boris Johnson being Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in about 3 months' time. If he lasts that long. Because it's just, you have to keep saying it to remember that, oh shit, this is actually happening.
This is a real thing.
Fuck. No, what have we done? We have crossed the line.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could, they didn't stop to think whether or not they should.
The event horizon of morality and decency has been well and truly crossed. The Cats movie looks horrifying. Listen, I've got friends.
Say how you feel, Matt.
I've seen Cats, like the stage show. I have friends who have been in Cats. Yeah. I know people who've been in various productions of Cats. I don't want to take a shit on it.
Take a shit on it, please.
But that musical fucking sucks. Like, I don't... And I know that's like a cool, I'm really clever, so I'm going to take a dump on cats because I'm intellectual. It's intellectually bereft. No, I just don't like the musical. Like, it's nonsense, and I don't like the songs.
It takes a lot of talent to do.
Like, it's an absolute tour de force for a dancer. Like, it's a real,
a design, costuming. The vocal range of the performers, the variety of, when it comes to the named characters, the variety of personalities on stage.
It's a real showcase for a triple threat performer because you have to be a great actor, singer, and dancer to sell cats. Because the script shit.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? People polish it so well, but it is still a turd.
Yeah,
I'm on the same boat as you are.
From the talent of people who have, been in Cats and stuff, but I don't like the show at all.
I saw Addams Family a couple of years ago. It was a very well put together production. It looked great. The performances were fantastic, but that script is piss. Like, it's piss. Wicked. I think the script for Wicked is piss.
Some great songs in there.
Some great songs. Some kind of songs.
I don't think the show holds together as a whole better than Cats does, though.
True, but it's also one of those where I came away from it going, what have I got from that? Apart from going, oh, those songs were really cool.
You remember the plot of Cats, right?
What plot, Matt?
It's
the Jellicle Ball. Let's see what I can remember, because I was taken to see Cats twice.
It's simpler than you might think.
And my fascination with theatre that started when I was young was nurtured a little bit by my granddad owning the VHS movie, which was the filmed concert.
Yeah.
On VHS, which was great. Like, that was like, if you want to see Cats, don't buy a ticket, buy this video. This is really well shot and has, like, the definitive cast in it. Enjoy. There you go. But as I got older, I was like, what the fuck is that about? I had to see it twice. All I recall is that it's the night of the Jellicle Ball, and the cats gather and they pay homage to one cat called Old Deuteronomy, who's been played by loads of actors over the years. So one of the most notable ones, Brian Blessed, which I think would have been hilarious to see.
And this is Judi
Dench. And it's weird that the internet aren't kicking up a fuss about that, isn't it? The people who get angry about gender bending and casting aren't angry about this. It's almost as if they're just targeting the people that they wish they could fuck. Anyway. Insults! But the point is... see, if she'd been played by Brie Larson, they would have been kicking up a stink.
Oh, they would have hated that.
But she's been played by Judi Dench. And if anything, it's insulting that you don't want to fuck Judi Dench. Incels, get it together. She's a distinguished, beautiful woman who's wearing the flesh of another cat over the top of her flesh.
Don't think about it. No one else did.
So, it's the Jellicle Ball. They all get together and pay homage to this cat. And that's it for the plot. Like, at one point, they're all a bit scared because a cat who's apparently a bastard called McCavity might be there. We, the audience, see McCavity a couple of times.
No, the plot of Cats is... Old Deuteronomy comes along and he's like, yo...
My brethren.
At the end of tonight, I'm going to choose one of you to die...
What?
And ascend to the Heaviside layer and begin a new life.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, and then more or less every song after that is like, this is this cat, and this is this pair of cats, and this is this cat.
These guys dance. This guy does magic.
This is Rumpelteazer and Mungo Jerry. This is Gimble Shanks a Railway Cat. This is Magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Is Gus the Theatre Cat in the show?
Yeah.
I was confused when they said that McKellen was playing Gus the Theatre Cat. I was like, is that a cat from the... Because Cats was originally a book of poetry.
It's T.S. Eliot.
It's something like the Jellicle something of whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's just a book of poems about cats, which in itself is like, that's fucking cute.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Lloyd Webber does what Andrew Lloyd Webber does best, which is steal other shit.
Puts it to music.
And put it to music, and everyone gives him the credit.
But, it's credited as the Andrew Lloyd Webber and T.S. Eliot musical. Not sure about that. Not sure about
Andrew Lloyd flew out last minute overseas to vote against people's rights, Webber.
Don't. He's a dick. Mm-hmm. And he makes a lot of money off you, probably. So...
Me personally, in only a couple of instances when I've had to buy Phantom-related things for my wife, who loves that musical. I will force her to watch the Universal horror movie again and again until eventually
Phantom.
I know, but I wanted to watch it again and again to the point she goes, yeah, no, that's the Phantom of the Opera.
I like Phantom. I like...
There's some nice stuff in it.
I like Phantom.
The version in the West End is great because it very much belongs in that theatre.
Yeah,
the staging
but
everything.
Cats is the same. It's like it's a theatre show, and the reason it works is because it's a theatre show, and
you're like, oh shit, look at these performances. Yeah, these are really cool.
You understand that it is people in cat costumes doing that on stage.
Yeah.
You don't need CGI'd people who look like person-cat hybrids.
Semi-CGI.
They don't have cat noses. That's the big thing.
They also have human physiques, which is like, yeah, of course they do in the stage, because people are going like, well, have they got tits? And others, people who are fighting on the side of the film were saying, well, would they do that in the show? Like, why is that a problem now? Why have you never had a problem with it before? It's like, here's the thing, we were talking about this before we recorded today, like, the Uncanny Valley is gaping in this trailer. Like, it is that feeling of unease at something that looks like it's human but is not quite.
It just looks horrifying.
One of the reasons I believe is because this digital cat fur technology, as they refer to it in the behind the scenes video that came out for the trailer, isn't a full-on performance capture technique. If it was performance capture, these guys could look like creatures. And we could see elements of the actor in their facial features if they wanted to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Cats was going to be adapted into a film in the early 90s by Spielberg as an animated movie.
That would make more sense.
That would have made way more sense. Hand-drawn animation with CGI locations.
That might actually have been nice.
That would have been like, oh, that's cool. There's a version of Cats that you can show the kids. But, like, if these guys looked like they were in the theatrical costumes, like a movie budget version of the theatrical costumes, we wouldn't have this sort of weird feeling, that we wouldn't get that sort of disassociation from reality that feels so uncomfortable, because we'd be like, oh cool, they're in costumes, that's nice. And a couple of the characters look like they're more like that. Jason Derulo's Rum Tum Tugger looks more like a costume.
Yes.
James Corden's whatever the fuck he's playing,
Buster Jones.
Oh god, yeah. He looks like, aside from his floating CGI head, in the first shot of him in the trailer where he's got a coat and a hat on, looks like he's in a costume. Judi Dench, for the most part, looks like she's in a costume. So that doesn't feel weird. But it's little things. Like you say, it's the lack of cat nose in the human face, so that your brain tells you that's a person. Yeah. But that person has a flat head, like where their ears should be. Well, of course they do. They've got cat ears.
Yeah.
They have cat ears in the show, but in the show they also have fur on the side of their head where the human ears and their hair live.
Yeah.
So our brains, that little part of our brain that acknowledges that's a person in a costume, is like, oh, fine. Because like the way when you watch the T-Rex in Jurassic Park, you don't go, oh my god, it's a T-Rex! Like, you go, oh my god, that looks amazing, and I believe it's a T-Rex. Whereas a very small part of your subconscious is like, it's a puppet, and this is how they do it, and this is amazing. And it's sort of the two parts of the two parts of your brain where you are blown away and convinced, and where you are in awe of the technique, meet together. That's what you want that's the result you want.
And this falls short of both of those.
It's too weird. Like you said, if they had cat noses and their faces looked more like cats, it wouldn't be as weird.
But then they wouldn't be able to sell it on the idea of, it's Idris Elba as McCavity. Well, Jason Derulo as Rum Tum Tugger.
Circus and Favreau's Jungle Books did a similar thing by just hamming up the names.
Yeah, but this is a film directed by Tom Hooper, who has no flair or style whatsoever, but still managed to win a Best Director Oscar for The King's Speech because Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. And they decided to give him fucking Les Miserables. Which was... Well, actually, I've not actually sat through the whole thing. It's drab and
I don't
dull.
hate it, but I think that's because I like, as weird as it sounds again, and it's what a lot of these films bank on, the casting. The casting blew me away in a few places. Russell Crowe is heavily miscast as Javert. Russell Crowe can sing, but he has a rock voice exclusively. Yeah. And he doesn't.
There is
a
place for that in musicals. Javert is not it.
Yeah, Javert is fucking not it.
No.
Hathaway, I liked the media buzz around it all blows it out of proportion, but it's a damn good performance. Jackman is of course great in it. The highlight,
because he is a song and dance man. He is a leading musical man.
So he brings that musical flair into this more realistically paced and sort of framed version of that musical. It works well for that. Sacha Baron Cohen and Helena Bonham Carter as the Thénardiers are great. It's like, of course these two. Why have these two not played this part? This seems right. You know what I mean? It's the fan casting thing works. It's a big reason why Lion King has done well, because the fan casting element of it is what's appealed to people.
And apparently it is actually fairly good because it is The Lion King again.
Yeah.
So,
but,
like, how bad can it really be?
Well, Can You Feel the Love Tonight takes place during the day. Do you know why? Because they have to use the natural lighting of the world that it's set in. They can't, like, light it unnaturally. So for you to see all those sequences, it takes place during the day. The song's called Can You Feel the Love Tonight.
Can
You Feel the Love Tonight?
I can't do this right now.
Rafiki doesn't have his stick.
I'm sorry I said
the
anything.
one that he literally hit Simba over the head with.
I'm sorry
as part
I
of a
mentioned
big
it.
lesson.
I'm sorry.
But then apparently before the end confrontation, he grabs his stick as though it's a thing we've seen in this film before and goes, my old friend. Which only works if you're familiar with the original.
I'm sorry I mentioned it now.
At one point, Timon sings Be Our Guest. So these realistic animals are aware of popular culture from the future.
Let's talk about unrealistic animals again. Please, for the love of God.
Do you want to see my phone wallpaper, Matt?
Yes, I've seen it. It's horrifying.
James Corden's disembodied face.
It's horrifying.
Taken from the moment in the trailer just after he
spits in someone's face. Also, how big are the cats supposed to be?
Well,
nobody knows.
Rebel Wilson's cat, who is
nothing.
Who I know, I think is Jenny Anidots.
Yeah, Jenny Anidots.
But I'm going to refer to her as Rebel Wilson cat because they've clearly just gone, do your thing, do the Rebel Wilson thing. Rebel Wilson is one of those performers who I think is really good, but it's getting to the point where I don't want her to be in things anymore.
Like Melissa McCarthy.
Because people are putting them in things that are too much like the things they've already done. And it looks like that's all they do.
It's what Hollywood does with women who are not slim.
Yeah.
Because they think they can only do one thing.
You the funny lady? We're going to put you back in the funny lady role. Do the funny lady thing. But she puts her hand in a mousetrap that is too big for the mice that would be mice to those cats, and yet
too small to be a mousetrap.
Too small to be a mousetrap, but at the same time, the candles next to it are human-sized candles if the cats were human proportion.
And there's also the white cat with the knife and fork.
Yes, which are like the size of her.
And then they're on the bed tearing up pillows, and they're like the size of toddlers. It doesn't matter.
It's just...
It makes no sense. None of this makes any sense.
That fucking creepy shot of them in Trafalgar Square at the end.
This is a musical in which cats take turns introducing each other so one of them can go to heaven. And then they don't like Grisabella, but she gets to go to heaven because...
Right, who's playing Grisabella? Jennifer Hudson. Right, so Jennifer Hudson, vocal powerhouse, phenomenal performer, really good actor from what I recall of what I've seen her in as an actor. Great, brilliant. I really don't like that rendition.
No, I feel like she's overselling memory.
Yeah, which is weird, because that is the most popular song from that show that has outlived that show, and it's the breakout hit. And it sounds really forced.
It's a bit aggressive.
Yeah, they also, as weird as it sounds, they could have aged her a bit. Yeah. She looks really young.
Grisabella is supposed to be fucking burnt out, yeah.
Yeah, like lived a damn life. And... Idris Elba looks like he's in a completely different production. McCavity looks more like a costume.
Yeah.
So he doesn't stand out as odd looking.
Well, he should.
But he stands out because unlike the rest, he just looks like he's a physical costume.
There is no cat like McCavity.
Oh god. He's a mystery cat. They call the hidden paw.
He may or may not be the devil.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the show, you never see him like full on. He's always underlit, and he's got glowing red eyes.
And he pretends to be old Deuteronomy at one point.
Yeah,
we know too much about cats, Chris.
Because we've had to absorb it.
This is what I'm learning about us today.
Oh my god!
Let's talk about something.
I'm so sorry that the thumbnail isn't cats.
Let's talk about something.
I've worked too hard on the thumbnail that is the thumbnail to go back and put a cat in it.
Let's talk about something slightly less terrifying. Talk about something slightly less terrifying that is more in our wheelhouse that we're actually looking forward to.
Oh, cool. So something not as scary as cats.
Yeah.
Cool.
It Chapter 2.
Great!
This looks great. What do you want to say about it?
It looks
like a really good extrapolation of what was so great about Chapter 1. Bill Skarsgård, you were really creepy and weird in that first one. Do you want to be creepier and weirder? Okay. Okay. Really, just a great cast. Everyone looks the part. Really excited to see Bill Hader in this because I watched a little bit of Barry recently.
Yeah, you dived into Barry. The world of Barry.
Carry on. It is so crushingly sad.
Well, because when I first...
In such a real way.
When I first heard the premise of Barry, it's about an assassin, I was like, oh, that's already kind of quirky.
Yeah.
But casting Bill Hader as an assassin is quite a funny premise already.
And it is funny.
And it's then when I watched them talk about it in an interview that I was like, why are they talking about, like, acting classes? What the hell are they talking about?
Yeah.
And that's when I read into it. I was like, oh!
Yeah.
It's about an assassin who retires from that.
No, he keeps trying to retire from being an assassin.
To become an actor.
So he can become an actor.
But the interview, I think it was an interview on Conan and stuff like where they talk about, like, it is, and you reaffirmed this last night when you were tweeting about it, like, it is depressingly close to real auditions.
My girlfriend was watching it, and after about 3 episodes, I had to go upstairs and do something else.
I'm sorry, I can't be in here. I can't be in here.
I just couldn't handle it. It was just crushing.
The same reason that after watching one episode of W1A, I was like, I'm glad this exists.
Yeah.
This is what television is like at the BBC sometimes. I can't watch this anymore because I will just get depressed.
Yeah. I don't know if I can go back to it because it is just so crushing. But it is brilliant.
Hader's comedy drama chops are being...
He's amazing. He is fucking incredible in it. Also, Henry Winkler. Fucking incredible in it. Just... There's one scene...
I'm glad we're in the Winkler-naissance.
I'm talking about Barry, for fuck's sake.
That's fine.
This
it's relevant to the trailer.
This is not going to be a short podcast. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Do it. Hit me with Barry.
There's a whole thing because he's the acting teacher, and he's like a sort of household name, and he was a star. He's not playing himself. He's sort of playing a version of himself, but not really.
It's that the casting of Henry Winkler in itself is a bit of a visual shortcut for the character.
But he's not. He's playing. He's not really also playing a version of himself, but he's bringing a sort of his own. Yeah. There's he's the acting teacher, and he's full of piss and vinegar, and he's getting in people's faces, and he's got this inspiring how to act book, and everything, and then but then there's one scene in a few episodes in where he goes for an audition, and it's for a TV cast, and it's for a man in the back of the queue, and he's very polite.
Yeah.
And he does his thing, and it's like, oh, hey, good to see you. He knows the casting people because he comes through them all the time, and he goes in and he's like, he does 2 different versions of the one line he's reading for. And you can just see the sort of resignation and just sadness in him.
Yeah.
That this is what he's doing now.
Yeah.
Just before he walks out. And it takes an actor like Winkler to... Because, again, I think people overlook him a bit because of the Fonz, but he is actually an incredibly talented performer.
It's like people appreciate Happy Days and the Fonz and that legacy and what it does for them, but they forget that is also a performer who should be given more stuff to do, not just oh, that was great, cheers.
There's a thing that a lot of people who aren't actors or don't know actors don't always realise is that a lot of the best dramatic performers are incredible comedians because there's so much of a correlation between what makes comedy work.
Ideal example, Robin Williams.
Yes, and manipulating people's emotions, which is what can really create fucking. So the Script to Screen have been doing that. They do their little videos. They do them a lot on Facebook where they will show the script side by side with like an iconic scene. And they did one not too long ago with the Gun Hill hunting scene. Yeah, with him and Matt Damon. Yeah, and just watching that, and it's just a masterclass.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a digression. Looking forward to Bill Hader in it, Chapter 2. Looking forward to it, Chapter 2. Looks creepy.
We see deadlights. We see what looks like the nest where the eggs are.
What looks like pre-Pennywise Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah. So it's either the man that he bases Pennywise off of, or the creature's sort of like evolution into that form.
You see a shot of a trapdoor closing in the woods. So what we're probably going to get is the smokehouse vision that the kids... I don't think they're going to do it with the kids, because...
They did it with the adults, and it looks like Mike is the one, because Mike's falling in that that thingy corridor. That's
so what you do. So for those of you who don't know the book, what happens in the book is that the kids do a sort of
They get high.
Yeah.
They hotbox.
There's a bit of, like, sort of Native American cultural appropriation in the book, to a degree, which is, I don't think is necessarily...
It's not taken as like we're going to do what the Indians do. It's taken as we need to do something ancient and American soil based, so we can look into like the past.
It might come across as insensitive to modern readers, but it's not the only thing in that book that will come across as insensitive to modern readers, so don't worry about it.
Sewer orgy.
But what happens is basically the kids have like they smoke out their sort of like den in the woods, and have this sort of vision of it like coming to Earth for the first time.
Bill sort of primarily has it, doesn't he?
And get a sense of its origins and stuff, because there's a lot more weird cosmic shit in the book.
Which it looks like we're dipping into.
We're going to dip into some of that, which you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you've got nowhere to go.
Like if you wanted your horror film with a bunch of kids fighting a monster, that was chapter 1.
Yeah.
If you want your adaptation of the freakier side of this book, here's chapter 2.
Because that's what the problem with the Tim Curry version is, that they don't go crazier when they come back as adults.
Yeah.
If they don't go they just have a big giant spider.
You get the feeling that it was they looked at their budget and went, well, we won't be able to achieve that, and then settled instead of writing around it.
Yeah. But not even a budget thing. It was like, not even like, we can't afford to achieve that. But how do we actually do that?
Yeah.
On film.
I like the nod to the spider in the first film, though. Where his arms turn into big old spidery pincers.
I think we'll be getting some kind of big creature.
It's alluded to. Sure. It's alluded in the book. I don't think he says spider outright, but he talks about they see a form that they can.
Yes,
that they can conceive.
Yeah, it's the closest thing to something that they can understand.
Yeah, so Lovecraftian levels.
It's Eldritch Abomination territory.
So I don't hate mutant spider as a concept, and I think they were nodding to it in the first one when his arms turn into like spider legs.
I'd like it to be one of those things though where you don't see all of it.
Yeah,
like you never really get a clear look.
Or we kind of see a different thing from everyone's perspective. Maybe it's all slightly different.
And also, I don't know if you noticed, but one of the kids is missing from the adult sections. I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, kind of weird that they don't focus on Stanley at all in the trailer.
I wonder what that could possibly be about for those who haven't read the book or don't have any exposure to the Tim Curry miniseries.
Do watch the Tim Curry miniseries ahead of this, I'd say.
Yeah, it's not
because this will guaranteed, however they pull it off, this will be a better telling.
It will blow its fucking socks off.
But any excuse to encourage people to check out the TV miniseries, I will take.
It is,
because there's some stuff that's aged terribly and is hilariously cheesy. There is some stuff that is like, oh, that was cool, like little moments you go, oh, that was alright, oh, that was nice. And then there are bits that are legitimately to this day really funny, really cheesy, or really scary on purpose that work really well. The Chinese dinner table bit is freaky.
It's a great scene in the book as well, and it looks like we're getting a good version.
The fridge.
That's.
Let's see who we've got here tonight.
The whole fucking segment when they go back to the library after the Chinese restaurant is fucking great.
Excuse me, do you have Prince Albert in a can? You do? Well, you better let the poor guy out.
Can you imagine Bill Skarsgård doing that in his weird, creepy Bill Skarsgård voice?
Why did the chicken cross the road?
That Tim Curry toy that I've got over there, by the way, comes with a spare laughing head, and one of his hands is that, and it's got a noisemaker.
Brilliant.
So I've always... The head's hard to pop in, though, because the sculpt is just a little bit too hard to push it in without risking the neck. So I need to do some of that hot water shit to soften the plastic. But I want to do that, give him the noisemaker, and have him sat on the edge of something, just going,
I love it when you do that hot water shit.
Love it. Hot water shit?
Hot water shit.
Sewer water shit.
For 27 years.
It looks like we're getting a proper adaptation of the... for those who've read the book, the Don Haggerty, Adrian Mellon section of the book.
The opening of the book.
The murder of Adrian Mellon by... It's he gets savaged by a group of homophobic thugs, and then his boyfriend has to watch in horror as Pennywise pulls his body from the river and consumes him. It's a great... In the book, it's like you get it from the different characters' perspectives who saw it, and the police being like, what the fuck?
It's
It looks like we're getting a version, which we knew because the casting had been announced for Adrian Mellon,
and also it's the present day portion of the story.
Yeah, it's the first thing that really kicks off.
It would be the done thing. It's also interesting because, of course, like the last one was set in the 80s because they moved it from the 50s to the 80s, so it means that we're now going to be experiencing it in pretty much present day, which is going to be an odd thing. We're watching an It adaptation set now.
But of course...
So how are they going to incorporate that into the world? Like
the idea of
cell phones and stuff are a part of that world now.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how they approach that.
I think the other part of that is that it's horrifying that you can still have a believable assault which leads to the death of a young gay man in an American town in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, that is genuine.
For that to still be believable is like, oh, fuck, what kind of world are we living in?
Yeah.
So there is that.
Oh, God.
Star Trek Picard.
I don't remember that scene in Star Trek Picard trailer.
CBS All Access in the States, Amazon Prime over here, which is weird because Netflix have Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
If you're a Star Trek fan, you're dropping a minimum of 160 quid a year to watch these two shows if you pay for your service in one go.
Well, it depends how long Star Trek Discovery runs for.
True.
Because you can just, like, have 2 months... Wait until it's all been on.
And then buy a box set when they inevitably release it.
Oh, no, just get Netflix for a month.
Yeah, true.
Watch all of it once it's been on and then cancel it.
Very true.
I have debated on many times, like, just letting my Netflix slide and then just picking it up again when I want to watch something.
Problem is you have to create a million email addresses.
No, you just restart, you just resub.
Oh, really?
And then stop auto-renewing.
Oh, still on the same account? Yeah. Right. I thought you meant just, like, go for a month free trial each time.
No.
I'm trying to convince my dad to do that, because, like, him and my stepmom, like, watch a lot of TV, but they don't want to do the Netflix thing, but they've got a Blu-ray player and a Virgin box with Netflix as an option in both. So I'm like, do a month's free trial. Just give it a try. Like, the only reason they haven't done it is because they've never done it before. I'm like, get on there, watch all 3 seasons of Lemony Snicket, cancel your trial, and have a think about it.
I can see myself alternating Disney Plus and Netflix when that comes out.
We're definitely getting Disney Plus, aren't we?
I'm going to have to for reasons which we'll get to later. But yeah, Star Trek Picard it's a sequel to Next Generation. Picard is all retired.
They made a big point at the panel, so I watched some of the panel, they made a big point at the panel of saying it's not, don't come into it thinking you can watch, say, like, Next Generation before and, like, box set it, and then watch Picard. Like, it's its own beast. Yeah. But knowing that show is going to be a big bonus to you getting where he is, why he, what he's gone through, and also getting those sweet, sweet Easter eggs and appearances.
You're also going to probably need to watch Star Trek Nemesis, unfortunately, because it's awful. But it is the last. That's canonically the last Star Trek. I think, I'm not sure how it lines up, but it's either Nemesis or the last season of Voyager is canonically the furthest in the main original timeline that we've seen.
Yeah, because even the next gen scenes at the end of Enterprise are set sort of during the last series of next gen, aren't they? Around about that time. So.
And I know Star Trek Online has taken it further because in Star Trek 11, the first J.J. Abrams one, which creates the Kelvin timeline, Spock tries.
Nerd.
You just wait. Spock tries to stop the destruction of Romulus and fails.
Yeah.
Which is what leads Nero and his crew to destroy Vulcan in the past. Because they become refugees from a Romulus that was. And I know that they've picked up on the idea of post-Romulus, like what happens to the Romulans after the destruction of Romulus in Star Trek Online, which I keep meaning to fucking get around to, but good luck getting me to play anything other than Warframe when I boot my PS4.
I think at this point, when you click your PS4 controller button, the console goes.
It just boots you straight to
Warframe.
It
just immediately goes.
I just had the facial recognition on with my camera on, and it's just like, oh shit, just boot straight Warframe straight.
Here we go, boys.
He's
back.
Great boy. But I do keep meaning to play Star Trek Online. So I think this will be interesting because we've not seen this period in the Star Trek timeline so far. In the same way that in Star Wars we haven't really seen much of between Return of the Jedi and beginning of Force Awakens.
Aside from Marvel.
We've got a few of the novels, which like cover the 5-year period after Return, up to the Battle of Jakku.
Mm-hmm.
The Poe Dameron comics cover like the couple of months immediately
before Force Awakens.
But that's something that came out actually slightly before Comic-Con, is that Marvel are doing a Knights of Ren
which is
series,
canonical and will lead up to the
going
release of Rise of Skywalker.
It's going to explain, it's going to dive into the Knights of Ren and their creation and founding.
Which says to me that they're not going to play as big a part in the film that everyone's assuming they are. They're going to be more a footnote.
Red Stormtroopers instead.
Fucking hell.
Sith Troopers. But we'll have more Star Wars to talk about, but not in this episode.
Not today. Probably at D3 in a couple of weeks.
So yeah, this is like a time period of the Star Trek universe that's not really been explored. So that's interesting.
Data in a draw.
Data's in a draw.
It
7
is
of
Data.
9's there.
Seven of 9's there, which made me and my inner teenage fanboy very happy.
You should probably watch some Voyager. Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis have both confirmed that they are returning as Riker and Deanna Troi.
The Borg.
The Borg
seem to play a heavy part.
The general consensus from what I've seen around is that the girl who Picard wants to protect has something to do with the Borg.
Which gave me very Logan vibes.
Super Logan vibes.
Yeah. Like, aside from the casting of Patrick Stewart in both projects, it was like the whole retiree, away from all of this, finally made a life, young girl,
and also
something to do, because obviously he's got a history. Like,
he was
Locutus of Borg.
Yeah, he's got
in one of the greatest cliffhangers in television history.
And also
because they made you wait between fucking seasons
to
find out what happened. They ended a season with part 1, and they opened the next year with part 2.
It's pretty great.
Oh god, Next Gen's amazing.
And also First Contact is a pretty great Star Trek movie.
Yeah,
it's the best Next Generation movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably...
I have a soft spot for Generations, not because it's good, but there's just something about it that I like.
Fine.
Yeah, I think I just like the whole idea of like, how do we write Kirk into this? He's just fucking here.
Yeah.
He's just here, I guess, chopping wood.
Okay, Star Trek movies. Here we go. Star Trek 1, not seen it. Star Trek 2, pretty damn good. Star Trek 3, fine. Star Trek 4, goofy, fine. Star Trek 5, burn. Star Trek 6, pretty great. Generations.
Wait, it's 6. There'd be whales here.
No, that's 4.
That's 4.
It's 4. Yeah, it's campy, but it's not great.
Fun.
It's fine. It's where they go back in time to save the whales.
Stuff. Yeah.
Generations, fine. First Contact, fucking great. Might be my favourite. Insurrection, fine. Nemesis, awful,
but a wonderful time capsule for millennials and people born in the 80s and 90s, because you get to see pre-buff Tom Hardy in a leading role as the villain of a major franchise.
Yeah.
Like before Bronson in 2005, 2006, which finally sort of
massive,
kicks him into like stardom.
Star Trek 11, pretty good.
Pretty great.
Into Darkness, fucking nonsense.
Garbage.
Star Trek Beyond,
overlooked.
Really good.
Yeah, I really like
really
that
good.
One.
But yes, Star Trek Picard, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see where it goes. Give me more Picard. Like, give me the Picard that I've so desperately desired up to this point.
And you have desired him. That beautiful man.
Yeah.
And is that Data or Lore or someone else at the end?
Don't know.
Brent Spiner under a lot of makeup.
Yeah, because he's not as
everyone
young
else,
as he was.
Everyone else is allowed to look their age. He's not. He has to look like at least
but his
late
face,
90s
his face
TNG
does
movies
look bigger.
Data. Yeah.
Like, he's got a chunkier face.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I wonder if it's like they used a slight padding thing within the prosthetic and then they've...
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
They can make it work.
If Crichton's head can change every series, I'm pretty sure Data could have a slightly different face.
Do you think... Question. Do you think we'll actually get Data back? Or will Data be like a holodeck / inner conscience for Picard?
I think and prefer the latter.
I think I prefer the latter.
Because then it means more data.
More data.
Yeah. Instead of we getting back at some point in
because
the series.
That original Data, I don't think that is Data's original body in the drawer.
No.
Because he gets blown the fuck up at the end of Nemesis. So.
It's like a new one, maybe. Maybe they do. Maybe we just build him. He's just in part of the shit.
But it could
Data about.
It could also be lore.
Yeah.
Or I think there might be other data.
Lore needed more of a visual telltale sign, like a twirly mustache or something.
Yeah, a sweet hat and something.
An eye patch. A sweet hat. Give Lore a sweet hat.
Yeah.
What's next, big boy?
Top Gun.
Never mind. What's
Maverick.
after that? Okay.
Top Gun Maverick. It looks fine. Tom Cruise hasn't aged. Jets.
Some impressive flight sequences. They really want you to know that he's flying the plane.
Do you like planes?
Yeah, they're alright. Pretty cool.
Top Gun.
Cool. Maverick?
Val Kilmer's in it, maybe.
Tom Cruise, to his credit, rocked up to Comic-Con. Because that was like the big one on the opening night, on Thursday night, wasn't it? It was Top Gun and It sort of dominated that first night in terms of junkets and interviews on
Kelly McGillis isn't in it because women aren't allowed to look their age in Hollywood.
Christ, in a Tom Cruise film.
In a Tom Cruise film.
In a Tom Cruise movie. Anyone else being the star of it, I'm pretty sure she would have been totally in it. But there is that weird Scientology angle to the whole thing of like, no, your role is done now. Like, this, that, and the other. But it's, we won't even get to that. But the point is, like, Tom Cruise, to his credit, rocked up to Comic-Con, surprise appearance at the panel to come out and present the trailer. It was like, oh shit! Tom Cruise at Comic-Con. This is weirdly something I feel we should have seen before, but I don't think we ever have. Okay. Fair. In an alternate reality, he's there every year as Tony Stark. Because he was the first person the studio Paramount approached for the role.
Yes.
And Jon Favreau went, Actually, can I get this drugged up dude who was last seen chasing a stick in a courtroom in frickin' that Tim Allen movie?
I don't know. It's a big risk.
I can't remember what it's called now. You know what I'm talking about, though, don't you? The dog's brain swaps places with people and stuff. At one point, it's RDJ. Some of the most impressive wire work you'll ever see as he leaps through the courtroom on all fours after a bone.
Some of the most impressive wire work you'll ever see, they actually kept him vertical for the entire shoot.
Oh! He was sober at this point.
Oh, okay.
Ish. Sober enough to get roles, but not sober enough to get good roles.
Well,
we love you, RDJ. Please don't sue us. If anything, we'd like to get a pint with you.
Top Gun Maverick. What, you can't have a pint with Robert Downey Jr.?
No, we can have a pint. And he can buy the pint.
Just cruel.
Not at all. He can have a pint of delicious cranberry juice whilst we watch Top Gun Maverick. Out in theatres at some point.
Speaking of cruelty.
Oh?
HBO's Watchmen series.
Yeah.
Police cruelty, baby.
Which we have spoken of. But not too much, because it's sort of been very vague as to what it's about, other than it's set after.
Yes. It looks like
after the original Watchmen by about 20-30 years.
Yeah, because we've got Jeremy Irons playing what pretty much everyone has decided is an older Adrian Veidt. But I don't know if that's been confirmed anywhere that I've seen. But it's not. Probably is.
It's not been confirmed anywhere that I or yourself have come across. But oh my god, sorry,
he is though.
I've just found out that Cats is being released the same day as The Rise of Skywalker in the States. That is
goodbye, Cats.
To their credit, that's some big dick energy.
That is a bold move.
But you know, like
that is a bold fucking move.
Look at Charles playing Toy Story and just take heed. Yeah, it's been
3 days.
Yeah. God, so much stuff.
7
Sorry,
days.
where were we?
We were talking about HBO's Watchmen.
That's the one. Dr. Manhattan? Question mark?
Dr. Manhattan.
I think that's a fake out at the end. I don't think that is him.
He is just
on
someone
Earth.
painted blue picking up the mask.
Yeah. But we see him.
He is on Mars.
He's on Mars. Is there life on Mars? Yes. Yes, there is. Dr. Manhattan.
Do we think this is a straight up sequel to the... I don't think this is a sequel to the film.
No, a sequel to the book. Sequel to the book. I think if it was a sequel to the film, they would have brought Snyder on in some capacity as like exec or something. Because they would have made a point of saying, from Zack Snyder, the man who brought you Watchmen.
Which is kind of good, because...
It hopefully means we're in a world where a giant friggin' squid monster attacked a city.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. It also means there will be a smiley face crater.
Yes.
All that you read into all that bullshit.
Smiley
like,
face.
It's too far-fetched, we're not going to put it in. It's like...
Oh yeah, it's too far-fetched.
It's actually a thing! Oh my god.
It's too far-fetched.
Question is, will they have big blue dick energy
I hope so.
and get his tackle out on HBO?
It's HBO.
It's HBO.
They'll do dongs.
Oh my god, that's how they get the dong in. That's how they'll get their quota of dong. Dr. Manhattan's dong.
I need
Dong to Manhattan.
blue dick.
A big blue dick.
I would be...
See, Minnie woke up. When you said, I need dick, my little dog on heat went, there's dick? Where's the dick?
You got problems.
She's got problems. She wants babies with Dr. Manhattan.
I'm slightly disappointed that with it not being a sequel to the film, we, in all likelihood, won't get Billy Crudup returning as Dr. Manhattan. Because I actually really like Billy Crudup as Dr. Manhattan in that movie.
Yeah,
I generally like Billy Crudup in things.
That's how they do it, though. Like, if we don't see him, they could get Crudup to voice him at least.
Maybe. And so Laurie Blake is Laurie, just specific.
Okay.
She's still Spectre,
Yeah.
but with her new name,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
I think
Ah!
because her and Night Owl go into
Ah!
because her and Night Owl go into hiding at the end of Watchmen.
Yes.
Dan Dryberg and Laurie Spexic, I think her name is.
I think so.
Her mother goes by Jupiter because she doesn't want to seem Polish.
Yeah. Night Owl's... What's
But
his
then
ship called
Laurie,
again?
Archie.
That features prominently in this
Yeah.
trailer. It's a nice design as well.
Is Night Owl dead?
Probably not. It's HBO in it.
There's a gang wearing masks.
People either die or get revealed to still be alive.
There's a gang
Drama.
wearing masks who are a Rorschach cult. The police wear masks because the Rorschach cult attacked the police. So now I guess the thing is, where does the line between... Where does the police end and the masked vigilante begin?
At the DMV.
That's where the line ends.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by this. I think it could be interesting.
Yeah, me too. I'm not the biggest Watchmen fan in the world. I love that book. I think it's very good. I think the film is pretty great. Like, I'm not a huge Zack Snyder fan in terms of his aesthetic and his tone and approach, but I don't hate Watchmen. I think it's a pretty cool adaptation of a thing that should not really be adapted. The only logical way to adapt it, if you had to, would be to a TV series.
Yeah, but I'm also a believer in the idea that there isn't anything that can't be adapted.
True, but watching the film, I would argue, is a lesser experience than reading the book, and as a result does bring into question whether it was a necessary venture. But that might be why the TV series is a sequel, because the creators of the TV series have gone, yeah, we're not attempting to tell that.
But I mean, none of this is
we'll tell what
necessary.
happens next. None of this, nothing is.
We'll get chunks of it in flashback.
We'll die at some point. We will all die.
We will all die.
But till then, we can watch the trailer for HBO's Watchmen.
Will we die before we get American Hero Story? Which I thought was one of the best side gags. No?
Probably. I don't know. Will we? How long would that take?
Did you not see that?
I don't think I did.
So these adverts on the taxi cabs it's going past for American Hero Story.
Right.
Minutemen.
I was thinking that. I was like, wait, have I missed a clip or something?
No. American Hero Story Minutemen is in a universe TV show.
Yeah.
Presumably an American crime story / American horror story style.
Is that the show with the dude
of,
who looks like a penis?
I believe
at the
it
beginning
is.
where he's
That's
like,
what Injustice. He's a character in the original Watchmen.
But
He's one of the first generation superheroes.
so why is he in a TV show? Unless it's just some clever editing on behalf of the trailer.
Because the TV show is American Hero Story.
Okay.
Minutemen.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. God damn it. So we're going to see
See?
versions of those characters.
See?
We're going to see versions of these characters in
Yeah.
some way,
Yeah, I think
regardless. Thor Ragnarok opening. Styly.
21 Bridges.
No.
Okay.
Oh, the film. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I
this
thought
isn't-
I thought you were offering me real estate. I was like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those.
This isn't-
Also, I can barely afford soup.
This isn't really in our wheelhouse. It's Chadwick Boseman stars in a crime drama produced by the Russo brothers. It is a detective who is tasked with bringing in two cop killers before the night is out. And the 21 Bridges title comes from closing the 21 bridges on and off the Isle of Manhattan. Looks like a cool, interesting, possibly exciting crime drama with, conspiratorial stuff, and it's a mystery. Who did the what now?
And also stars?
J.K. Simmons, And Keith motherfucking David.
Are you sure it's not in our wheelhouse? Because everything you've just said
Well,
ticks little pop culture and geeky boxes.
It's not really a genre movie.
True.
It looks like a straight-up crime drama.
True, but we were talking about it when we were watching the trailer before. They should release a box set of movies that came into existence because of the MCU project and people meeting. Because Chef, arguably, came about because of Jon Favreau making Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Because of some shared cast members.
And now he just decided to do a show because he likes cooking.
Yeah, because why not? Screw it. Joss Whedon's Much Ado About Nothing adaptation utilised a lot of cast members from that first phase of Marvel, notably Clark Gregg amongst them. We've got the Russo brothers and Marcus and McFeely have started a new production company together, so they can make films going forward, still working together. The directors and screenwriters of all the Cap films from Winter Soldier onwards and the last 2 Avengers movies.
Yep.
So we've got 21 Bridges. There was another one as well, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit, yes! Taika Waititi's
and Scarlett Johansson.
new satire, which they keep making a big point of referring to it as a satire, because people will flip their lips.
Because apparently you need to be told that a story about a kid whose imaginary friend is Hitler is a satire because it's not fucking obvious.
You mean your imaginary friend isn't Hitler?
Well, to some people.
Would you like an antihistamine?
No, I am going to go and get another beer though and wash my eye out while you tell the people at home about the new BBC HBO co-production which we got a trailer for, a proper trailer, not a teaser, of an adaptation of Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials.
Well, we got a trailer for the BBC and HBO co-production of the adaptation of Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials.
You can do better than that.
Can I? I don't know these books too well, but I do know this. Philip Pullman is a renowned author for young adults and kiddie winkles alike, as well as adult fiction too. But the do you know what? Yeah, bring me a can, please, sweet lady. But I know this much. I know that the Golden Compass, which was one of the books in that series, was swept into the mid-2000s craze of let's adapt the shit out of every kid's book series we can because Warner Brothers are making all the money in the world with Harry Potter. So as a result, the Golden Compass was released as a movie and kind of did what all the films did with that same purpose and same goal around that time, which was it came, it went, it had its fans, but ultimately it remains forgotten.
I mean, I thought it was alright.
It was fine.
It wasn't bad.
It was fine, but it was like so many others, Spiderwick, Lemony Snicket, like Percy Jackson,
Rising.
The Dark is Right. Oh god, that's the most egregious. Because it is just sort of, I don't get it. Why? And then you finish it and you go, oh, because Harry Potter. Like, they even make the main character American, having moved to the UK. Because they were like, well, we want to sell it to an American audience and we can't make all these kids British.
But they were also chasing the Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah, well, that one especially with this imagery and stuff.
Yeah, they were New Line were positioning it as the new trilogy.
Yeah, and they were getting amazing actors involved.
Hmm.
Ian McShane's in that one. Chris Eccleston's in it, and not his finest hour. Because just tonally, I think he was doing a different film than the visual style of the movie is.
Yeah.
Which is really odd, because it's like, huh? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? It's almost like they never told him what the tone was, so he kind of is playing it more like a TV fantasy drama. And it's like, it just doesn't feel cinematic enough.
I am looking at the cast for this, though, and it is good.
Our leads are Daphne Keane.
Oh, by the way, she is British-Spanish.
Ah, we were talking about that before, weren't we?
So.
By Jiminy. Daphne Keane's our lead. Fresh out of Logan.
Lyra Alakwa?
Come again?
Lyra Balakwa.
Oh, the character?
Yeah.
I was like, are you alright?
And her demon Pan.
Pan! That's the noise that Jackie Chan makes. True story. Watch any Jackie Chan movie. When he's just making noises during the fight, the go-to noise he always makes is the word pan.
Okay.
It's really strange.
Whatever you say.
He's also a fantastic choreographer and a brilliant physical performer and a great physical comedian. Mm. He also doesn't speak to his daughter. So, never learn about your heroes, folks.
Who else
never learn about your heroes.
Who else we got? We got Ruth Wilson as Miss Coulter. James McAvoy as Lord Adriel. Lin-Manuel Miranda as Lee Scoresby. which is looking pretty good.
It's a great ensemble, and again, I think a nice variety of casts.
I think Ruth Wilson's such a great choice from this culture.
Oh yeah, well you said before because I'm not too familiar with the OG beyond sort of some of the film adaptation, but you were saying that that was the Nicole Kidman role.
Yeah.
And as soon as you said that, for some reason it clicked in my head because you can kind of picture actors within certain, like you can imagine a Rolodex in your head of people who fit certain parts. You say to me that
that is how a lot of casting is done,
well,
to be fair.
But you say to me Ruth Wilson played a part that was originated in terms of the previous adaptation by Nicole Kidman. In my head I was like, yes.
And it's a sinister, semi-villainous role. Like, that's Ruth Wilson, really, isn't it?
Yeah, she can play them to a T, which is why she's been taking a lot more than, a lot more kind of softer roles or like, leading lady in less mysterious circumstances roles recently, because I think she's like, I don't want to be known as the bad guy lady.
No.
But I hope she still does bad guy roles because she's very good at them. Like, she's the Joker of Luther. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And this looks really good. That polar bear, holy shit.
Yes, I am.
Holy shit, this is a TV series?
I'm looking to see...
Is this what we can do when that money's not just being spent on dragons? Because if so, I'm all for it.
I'm looking to see if there's a voice actor listed for Ulrich Bernison.
Of course, because Ian McKellen played him in the film adaptation.
Yeah. But I can't see one. I can find... There's a voice actor listed for Ragnarsson, who's his rival.
Yeah.
But I can't see a voice actor listed for Ulrich Bernison, so we'll see who is voicing him. Because, like I say, they've got a voice actor listed for one of the other bears, so they are doing talking bears. And also, they've got the demons, and they've got voice actors listed for the demons, so...
Maybe it's just Baloo. They've just hired Baloo.
Hired Baloo.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that it's going to be Bill Murray?
No, Baloo.
Not
Phil Harris, not John Goodman, not the dude who does him in Disney Infinity 3.0. It's
Just-
just hired Baloo.
Just Baloo.
Yeah.
Look,
He's out there. You know.
his damn materials looks great. And Baloo's going to be in it.
There he is!
Ah!
He's up there!
I see him!
Dancing
So-
away on his shelf like a happy little bear.
You know that thing that horror franchises do, where they get
Suck?
they get a few movies in and then decide, oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to do 2 sequels back to back
Yeah,
to
suck.
save on production costs.
Yeah, suck.
I
Yeah.
think we're great.
Yeah.
So David Gordon Green's doing 2 Halloween sequels back to back
What?
with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right. Repeat that statement from the very beginning, bit by bit, and I will tell you where the pros and the cons come and go.
David Gordon Green,
Director of Halloween 2018.
director of Halloween 2018,
Mm-hmm. Call the pro.
is doing 2 sequels
Shaky pro.
to Halloween 2018
Shaky pro.
back to back
Con.
for release in 2020.
Pro.
It's Halloween Kills.
Mm-hmm.
And 2021,
Con.
Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis returning.
Pro. Danny McBride still involved?
I believe so, yes.
Can he get a different co-writer, or can him and his co-writer work with someone else? Because I like Halloween 2018 a
I
lot,
liked it a lot.
but I don't want to have 2 more movies of the subverted expectation moments of like comedy and weird character beat stuff.
I don't think they can do that again because I think they're smart enough to realise that you can't... Because I think that what saved Halloween 2018 is that they were smart enough to realise you can't just do the same thing again.
Yeah, but then they're doing 2 back-to-back movies, which means they're either going to be 1 film in 2 parts, or 2 very similar films.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
How do you feel? You are the resident Halloween-ophile, as it were.
I mean, I'm not really even a Halloween-ophile. I've only seen the first one and the 2018 one.
But you like John Carpenter.
I do like John Carpenter.
And you do put on a boiler suit and a William Shatner mask and stab people at Halloween.
Well, you know,
So,
everyone's got to have a hobby.
yeah. It's a shame yours is annual, really.
Yeah.
All that biding of time.
I just wish it was Halloween more often.
Yeah, I'm not sure the local neighbourhood babysitters do.
Mm.
I think they're quite happy to have a window. And yet they still take jobs in the area in October.
Listen, it's sort of a rite of passage
Oh, in a way.
amongst the locals.
I do like the fact Jamie Lee Curtis is back. I'm presuming the fact that she's signed on to both means she's a starring role.
I do
I'm
like the
loving
fact...
this uprising of older actresses in leading roles in genre and action and horror films that seems to be happening.
I do like the fact Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. Street Fighter fan, Jamie Lee Curtis. Street Fighter cosplayer, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Just wonderful Jamie Lee Curtis.
Do you know who I? And as it sounds, do you know who I give credit to for this trend happening? A trend which I hope just becomes a normal option of older leading ladies in genre flicks.
Tell me.
Insidious. Chapter 3 made the... I can't remember the actress's name, but the paranormal medium and investigator.
Yeah,
made
I know the
her
one you mean. I'm
the
going to look the
lead
name up.
of that, and she was also, I believe, the lead of the 4th one, which I didn't see.
I couldn't say for sure.
Like, that kind of started it. Like, when you watch it halfway through Insidious Chapter 3, you're suddenly like, holy crap, I'm watching a movie where a late 60s actress is the lead in this horror film. This is phenomenal. Like, this is so rare.
Lynn Shay.
This is such rarefied air. And you know, it's good, because like you were saying before, there aren't, you know, it's almost like Hollywood won't allow women of a certain age to partake.
And I think that's...
Especially if their lead star is a powerful Scientologist. But, yeah.
Yeah, she's one of those who's been... She's had such a career as well, and did a lot of horror, particularly in the 80s, and of course she's in Critters.
Yeah.
She's, and Critters too. Of course, I forgot about that.
See, it's possible. It's possible to tell stories for older women and with older women in the lead and then be awesome. So I'm glad of these Halloween sequels, if for nothing else, that they're going to continue that by Laurie Strode being a main player.
Oh, did I tell you that there's another Critters sequel this year?
Yes.
Straight-to-video movie.
We spoke about this briefly, yeah. It's a straight-to-video movie that's a sequel to the film series, but has nothing to do with the TV series that's just been out.
Apparently it's not even that much of a sequel to the film series either.
Oh, God. So it's more of a soft reboot.
Yeah, because Dee Wallace-Stone is in it, but she's not the same character. She's not the mum from the first one.
We didn't talk much about Dark Fate, actually. I don't think a new trailer came out, did
No.
it? But, like, they showed some footage and did a panel.
They said that Edward Furlong's in it.
Yes.
But we haven't seen any footage of him.
We haven't seen any footage of him. And
or any. We have not seen any proof of life for Edward Furlong.
In a while.
I had to look it up to see if he was actually still alive. So I wasn't sure.
The theory doing the rounds is that John Connor dies, which is what changes the direction.
Yeah, I feel like...
For Sarah Connor, because she suddenly realises, wait, this still happens. Yeah. Stuff is still coming back.
Well, before this...
So it's not my son who prevents it.
Even before this info, my theory of the Dark Fate story is basically John Connor dies, Sarah Connor realises that she's still that it's still going to happen, so she has to find the next leader.
Right.
And the way she finds the next leader is find out who the Terminators are going after next.
Makes sense.
Because there's also a line in the trailer where, because there's that pregnant woman that Mackenzie Davis is protecting.
Yes.
And there's a line in the trailer where they ask who Sarah Connor is, and she says, "I used to be her."
Right. Okay, that's a good shout. What it tells me is that it's another Terminator sequel, so it will probably be shit. By law. And the Lord spaketh unto man, yea, there shalt be only one good Terminator sequel, and once thine judgment day hath been upon us, there shall be nought else.
We can but hope, can't we, Minnie?
James Cameron, of course, broke the news about Edward Furlong from the set of Avatar 2, 3 and 4.
And Avatar has now been superseded by Avengers Endgame as the
minutes into the
the
MCU panel. Like, Kevin Feige started the panel by saying, I've got word
it's amazing what
that we are about to cross it, so thank you all so much. And then, like, 10-15 minutes into the panel, it was officially announced. It was like, oh!
It's amazing what you can do when you're the biggest movie studio in the world and you re-release your tentpole film.
But let's just face it, as just a fan of films, it's nice to know that an entertaining movie
is now
number one.
Yeah. It's nice to know that an entertaining Disney property is now a higher grossing product than a non-entertaining Disney property.
It's true, because Avatar is now Disney!
Yes.
Christ alive.
We've got a trailer for The Expanse Season 4, which is its first season at Amazon after it was dropped by its old network.
Resurrected by Amazon.
Yeah.
Political intrigue in the stars.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of The Expanse. I've not watched a lot of it. This looks good. Looks
Burn
like more of The
Gorman
Expanse.
looks to be an antagonist or a primary force to be reckoned with in the series.
So Burn Gorman looks to be Burn Gorman.
Yeah, he's great.
He is great.
He is really good and needs to be more things. In fact, he needs to be more things, but he needs to be more things but playing his character from Pacific Rim.
He is
Well, he just for no particular reason sounds like a 70-year-old curmudgeon, even though he's clearly in his 30s.
Fucking love him in Pacific Rim. And the sequel, for that matter.
Is he in Uprising?
Have you not seen Uprising?
No, I've had no urge to watch it.
It's good.
I've had no desire
it's
to
not.
watch
It's
it.
terrible, but it's really fun.
I've had no desire to watch it after I watched a little video essay online where they spoke about camera movements in the first one and how they use the camera movement to really add to the weight and majesty of these beasts and these machines. And then they show some scenes from Uprising and it just looks like a fucking Power Rangers video game cutscene.
Yeah.
In a way where you sort of go, oh.
It is
So I've
absolutely
had no urge because of
not as well made as the first one. I did quite enjoy it, though.
If it rocks up on my Netflix or Amazon Prime, I'll give it a spin.
It's John Boyega, man.
See, I want to support John Boyega because he's great.
He's great in it.
But I also don't want to support John Boyega if it means watching a film that will be shit.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy
That's why
it.
I've not bought The Last Jedi on Blu-ray. So, that's controversial. Yeah, whatever.
Oof.
I'm only joking. I've not bought The Last Jedi on Blu-ray because I just didn't enjoy it myself. So I'm like, why would I pay top price for it? If I dig The Rise of Skywalker and decide I'd like to buy that, I'll end up buying The Last Jedi. So I'll be like, yes, I want the complete story.
The shade that your owner is throwing, Minnie. Do you hear it?
She can't hear anything over the sound of the smell of dick in the air.
But yeah, The Expanse Season 4 looks cool.
That's cool. That trailer, what you have done shown me, and the fact that Amazon have seen fit to go, we'll save this.
They've got all the money in the world, though.
Yeah, but they don't have enough money in the world to do a third season of The Tick, do they?
Yeah, true.
So, screw those guys.
Bern Gorman is a man who has made a career out of being born with a face like a snake. And
and yet has never played a snake.
You got to admire that hustle.
That's true.
You've got to admire it.
No, don't you mean hustle?
Oh,
we respect the grind and the sidewind.
Oh. The Witcher from Netflix.
Speaking of
Henry Cavill.
insert reference to reptiles here.
Yes.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Clefchin.
Henry Clefchin. Henry, I'm the biggest boy in the playground.
Henry Big Boy.
Look.
Henry Big Boy. Oh my god, can we call Henry Cavill Henry Big Boy?
Look at the width of my chest. It's as wide as 3 barrels of fine ale. I am the size of a small car. I am so muscular. I don't know jack shit about The Witcher.
I've played at least
But this
30%
looks alright.
of the main campaign of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. That's my experience with the franchise.
I mean, Henry Cavill doesn't speak very much, so it's probably going to be good.
But when he does, he speaks in a British accent, which is a shame because I want to hear a weird American accent like in the game. Because I'm not a big fan of the Witcher series. Like, I've played a good chunk of the third one because it was one of those must-play PS4 titles, and eventually I gave in and I went, I'd like to play that. So my wife bought it me for Christmas, and I played a chunk of it. Big, sprawling RPGs aren't my thing.
No.
But I have enjoyed what I've played so far. The story stuff is
They
gruff
are
and
my
creepy.
jam, but I've just not got around to The Witcher yet.
The creatures are freaky as sin.
Well,
which is why it seems odd that the trailer, which does make a big point of being more based on the books, the trailer saves... There's a flash of the back of something heinous toward the end.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the trailer, you see this fleshy spider thing coming out of a bog. And it's like, okay... But based on my knowledge of the franchise, I'd expect a lot more of that in the trailer. However, I have a theory. It could be Bernie's. I have a feeling that they are marketing it squarely toward Game of Thrones fans who don't have any more Game of Thrones to watch. In the hopes that they will forget that there's a prequel series coming and they'll go watch The Witcher.
For real.
I mean, right down to it just being based on the phenomenal bestseller. Whatever it was. And like really hyping up the book and really hyping up the muted colours, fantasy without too much visual fantasy element stuff.
Well, I have a colleague at my shitty day job.
Yeah.
And she's a big Witcher fan. And she's also Polish, so she's read it in the original Polish and played it in the original Polish.
Damn.
It's written by
Does
Polish.
Geralt still sound like this in the original
I have
Polish?
no idea. And she is...
I hear you have the best grog.
She has mixed feelings about this. Because
we'll meet in the pub.
Quiet! What she is worried about is that it loses its sort of Slavic flavour.
I get that.
Whereas
There's a
lot
vibe of that even in the third game. There's
you look
a vibe
at most
to that.
fantasy, English language fantasy, and it's either very widely influenced by
Sort of Celtic.
Celtic and Western European
Yeah.
sort of myth and history or Scandinavian myth and history.
Yeah.
Whereas this is firmly Eastern European, Slavic feeling. And if it does retain that sort of flavour, I think that would make me more interested, almost. Because that's what gives it its own unique...
luster.
Esprit de fantasy.
Ah, yes, the old esprits.
Yeah.
Right up the esprits.
It's little fragrance. But so yeah, Witcher could be good.
Yeah.
Could be shit.
Trailer's not
Who
sold
knows?
it for me.
Henry Cavill could go either way.
Henry Clefton.
Season 3 of Westworld.
Aye.
Absolutely impenetrable if you haven't seen the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I was sat there going...
But,
Nazis, but not cowboys anymore?
just on the...
Is only Series 1 mostly set in Westworld?
No, Series 2 is mostly set in Westworld.
Okay. I wonder if we're even going to set foot in Westworld in this third series, because based on this, probably not.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
So yeah, so slight spoilers. Well, actually, no, huge spoilers for season 1 and 2. Just to give you some context for season 3, we're going to talk a bit spoilers about season 1 and 2 of Westworld. So just be aware of that for the next few minutes.
Oh, go!
So,
And poof!
Westworld, the series, is based on Westworld, the film, which is about robots going haywire in a theme park populated by robots, where the rich people come into the park and kind of do whatever they want to them.
It's basically LARPing
Yeah.
to the extreme for the rich.
Yeah, and it's the idea of what you do in the dark. Who you are in the dark is brought out by how you act in the
Though
park.
if I recall, the film doesn't get that deep.
No, the show does.
Yeah.
Because it's revealed towards the end of the first season of the show that there's 2 narratives taking place in different time periods.
Ah, nice.
With one character...
Like Jigsaw.
Yes. With one character at different ages in the 2 timelines. But of course, all the hosts, quote unquote, which are the robot characters, are the same age.
Yeah. So the show deceives you into thinking you're watching 2 separate narratives happening concurrently. And then you get to the end of it and go, oh shit. Yeah.
And then season 1 ends with the uprising of the hosts and the robot revolution.
Okay.
In the park, in
Revolution.
Westworld Park.
Yeah.
But then you also discover that Westworld isn't the only section of the park. There are other theme areas.
Right.
And the one you see revealed at the end of season 1 is Shogun World. Which is feudal Japan.
Right.
Which you visit in season 2.
Okay.
You also, in season 2, you also see, I think they call it Raj World, which is colonial India from the early 1900s.
Okay.
And in this trailer, we get some sort of Second World War world.
Yeah.
Where people can go and kill Nazis, presumably, which I imagine is quite cathartic. And then season 2, but the whole thing
I don't want to kill anybody. I just don't like bullies.
Nice.
Thank you.
So the whole thing is...
I'll punch a Nazi. I'll punch a Nazi gladly.
And this is brought more forward in season 2, but it becomes about the different motivations for people creating these, and they're almost not robots because they're mostly biological,
right?
But they are also robotic and mechanical in a way.
Yeah.
They're sort of half between two. So it's like the different people who had hands in creating them are creating them to create a new life form, to play God, and then
which always ends well.
Yeah, I know, right? And then to give them their own, to help them self-actualize and become their own
babies,
people,
their own ting.
Yeah, their own thing.
No, ting,
their own ting. So there is a sense of that, and then it's also, but people also want to use them. There are human characters who want to use them as a means for achieving immortality. Like, can you use one of these things to preserve your consciousness? Mm-hmm. And that becomes a plot thread.
So it starts out more psychological horror sci-fi,
as
and
the show goes
more
on
into like philosophical sci-fi.
As the show goes on, it becomes a plot point and also a set of mystery, some of which has been answered, some not so much, as to which characters are human and which characters are not, because they are basically indistinguishable.
Good.
Unless you are fucking dissecting them.
Yeah. There's a shot in there. There's a Terminator homage shot
with
where
the arm up,
someone is, like, sort of repairing or looking into their arm, and they pull out what at first looks like sort of muscle tissue, and then you get a bit closer, and it's like the divided, lumpy bits of a SCART lead covered in blood, and you're like, oh, that's some freaking weird.
Interesting stuff in here. So
like SCART leads. Aaron Paul's playing a character who, like, we're finally sort of meeting people who have nothing to do with this.
Yes, because most of the outside world that we've seen in the first 2 seasons has been the super fucking rich, the people who fund the park, the people who go to the park. We haven't seen the working classes. That's what Aaron Paul's character is representing. Also, what we have is...
Cowboy robots, yo!
Robot cowboys.
He better say that.
I hope not.
If he doesn't, I will not watch a show I'm already not watching.
So, at the end of the second season, Evan Rachel Wood and Jeffrey Wright's characters leave the park and take the sort of idea of the robot revolution, and they have their different outlooks on this into the larger world. And in the trailer, we see the Evan Rachel Wood's Dolores meet with Aaron Paul's character, so presumably he's going to get dragged into it. And
poor Aaron. Poor sweet Aaron Paul.
And that's what we're going to get. Tandy Newton's character is still in the larger park as a whole, because she ends up in the World War II area.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. It was a great show. It is very dense. It's Jonathan Nolan
so
is one
dense.
of the producers and showrunners, so
every shot is so dense.
He's got his brother's taste for ambitious storytelling, shall we say.
Yeah.
It could be good. It could suck. We'll see. Now, the next one...
We will.
The next one, this is probably going to suck. But in a pretty, really fun way.
Oh?
Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
You know, I don't know if it's going to suck.
Well, I don't think it's going to be good.
I don't think it's going to rewrite the rulebook of comedy or stamp its place on history, but I tell you why...
I don't know if it's going to be good, but I think I'm going to enjoy the fucking hell out of it.
I'll tell you why I've got a good feeling for it. Like, it's the victory lap post-heart attack getting all my friends together movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm as a result, I kind of think it's going to be special in the sort of same way that that last 10 minutes of Clerks 2 suddenly smacks you in the feels, and you go, wait, what? And the whole movie's kind of been, donkey fucker jokes and all this, and then suddenly in the last 10 minutes you kind of go, oh, this is what it's actually about. Okay. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of heart, no pun intended, to be seen in this. From the trailer, it looks like it's going squarely down the gross out, fuck you everybody, here's an onslaught of shit that'll let you go, holy shit! kind of thing.
Yeah, it opens with the Silence of the Lambs reference.
Yeah, from Clerks 2. Yeah.
Which is...
with David
problematic, to say the least.
Yes, but Jay, the character, is not a sensitive person.
True.
So,
true.
Like
Jay Muse does look weird with his new teeth.
Yes, which is weird. Well, what's weird about that is Jay Muse, in interviews and everything, not so much. Like, I saw him in the flesh a couple months ago at the Frog and Bucket. Not so much. But as Jay, weird. And I think, you know what it is? I think it's because as Jay sort of naturally has a bit of a gurn going on anyway, so it's kind of, it just looks odd. But they do look like the same stoners that we last saw preaching the Bible outside of movies in Clerks 2. And that's something that the trailer sort of doesn't touch on. I remember Twitter reacting like sort of, oh right, so those pair of 40-year-olds like pretending they're still teenagers. It's like, no, like, you pay attention to the trailer or you read into anything, like, this is not a story about two people still pretending to be teenagers. It's just a story about two characters who haven't grown up because they don't think they have to. So, you know, there's something about that. And we now found out what the plot's about. Well, we knew the basics. Jay and Silent Bob Reboot is a sequel / reimagining of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. In Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Jay and Silent Bob found out that a comic book adaptation movie is being made of the comic book heroes they inspired, Bloodman and Chronic. So because they don't want to be associated with it, they go to Hollywood on a road trip to stop the movie being made. In Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, they find out a reboot of the original Bloodman and Chronic movie is being made, so they travel to Hollywood in a road trip to stop it from being made. it's sort of wonderfully kind of meta in terms of how it's critiquing the Hollywood sort of run out of ideas system, whilst also itself being a retread of the same movie on purpose. It's like, that's kind of great.
I mean, let's be honest. It's Kevin Smith. He's going to poke a lot of fun at himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is with
That's his stock in trade,
Kevin's
really.
journey over the last 10 years has been an odd one. Like, Red State is a great, tight, creepy little horror film.
Yeah.
What was the next one? Tusk. I like Tusk. Tusk is absurd. But
was it ever going to be anything but absurd?
It doesn't shy away from being absurd. Like, it really doesn't. When you watch it, you go, no, this knows it's ridiculous. Like, when it's creepy, it's creepy. When it's goofy, it's goofy. It's sort of tipped over the edge into goofy a little bit more from Johnny Depp's choice to wear prosthetics
when it's
as
goofy,
Gila
it's a
Pointe.
really goofy movie.
Yeah. Goof troop. Yeah. That was a flashback. And Yoga Hosers, I've not seen, but I get the response to it. It's trying to be something that isn't his style. And that was him just playing around, but it is kind of odd. This is the most Kevin Smith movie that we'll have seen since Clerks 2, on the basis that this is dipping straight back into the Viewer's universe. That alone makes me happy, because I love those films. I absolutely love them. I think worldwide, Dogma's probably the most well-remembered and received of the bunch.
I still think that's the best thing he's ever made.
I like Clerks 2.
I like Clerks 2 a lot.
For me, I think that surpasses it, but only because it was around that time that he started writing about personal experience. Like, obviously Clerks was very much about personal experience in the literal sense, but this was sort of like in the emotional sense. Clerks 2 was a movie about 20-somethings stuck in a rut. Clerks was that. Clerks 2 is a movie about 30-somethings stuck in a rut. One's completely happy with that rut, the other isn't. So it's sort of that story of, getting older and times changing and you're looking at things differently. Clerks 3 was going to be the story of 40-somethings who think that they might have wasted their life, was the premise of it. Like, that was the premise of Clerks 3. And Clerks 3 will be finally debuting as a charity reading to save a theatre in New Jersey next week. Tickets were going $100 a pop.
Interesting.
And Kevin's hosting it and doing the reading the stage directions and everything. He's announced that it will have a cast, so presumably Jason Mewes, Brian O'Halloran, possibly Rosario Dawson, because blink and you miss her.
She's in
this, so she's reprising her role from Clerks 2. Brian O'Halloran has also been announced as being in Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yeah, and he's
presumably that's their house.
Brian O'Halloran has always been adjacent to
Kevin's work.
He's also and Jay's work, because he's also in Madness and the Method.
Madness and the Method. He did the stuff with Vulgar and stuff. Like, he popped up in the work of the other guys. Like, and again, I think it's because he's just one of those actors who's just like, stage, little bits of TV. Oh, you guys doing another film? Do you want me in it? Yeah, great, let's do it. Like, it's and power to him. The reason Clerks 3 isn't happening has never been made outright official, but it's been alluded to that it is because one person doesn't want to do it anymore, and without them it wouldn't work. So you do the math. It's Jeff Anderson, who doesn't look to be anywhere near this. That's forget the Affleck glimpse and the Matt Damon glimpse and freaking Thingy Chong and everything in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, forget all that. If Jeff Anderson cameos in this at any point, that's the cameo where I'll be like, well done.
Yeah.
Because it's just not his thing. Like, he loves acting, but it's not his bag, it's not his world. But the reason Clerks and Clerks 2 work so well is because of Brian as Dante and Jeff as Randall.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be the same without him. And he didn't do Clerks 3 when you put everything together because, again, it was just taking too long. He nearly didn't do Clerks 2 for the same reason. Just taking too long to get it together, and it was one of those where he's like, I'm committed to this, and then eventually like, no, I'm not waiting around. Forget it. So if he shows up in Strike Back, that would be nice. Strike Back reboot, that would be nice to be like, there he is. Especially because it's a sequel to Strike Back. Dante and Randall are in Strike Back.
Well, yeah.
So, but yeah, cameos galore. Craig Robinson,
Craig Robinson.
Joe Manganiello, David DeSmolchin, Fred Armisen, Shannon Elizabeth is back.
The reboot Blood Man and Chronic are being played by Val Kilmer and Melissa Benoist.
Yes, which is genius.
Um,
Jason Lee's back as Brody. it looks like Matt Damon is Loki.
Yeah.
But Ben Affleck is back as Holden McNeil. Stan Lee was going to be in it, but because he passed away before this shot, there is a big ass shrine to him, and in the first 10 minutes there is a bit that is specifically about Stan. So, like, it's the King of Cameos is still in this movie posthumously. It turns out his last cameo might actually be in Madness in the Method.
Yeah, of course.
That's his last cameo.
Because he's done all his Marvel. He did all his Marvel stuff before he passed away. And obviously, he wasn't around for the shooting of Black Widow, which is the one that's called the shooting of Far From Home.
Yeah, he must be in Far From Home somewhere in some capacity, but I didn't spot it on my rewatch.
We'll find him in the. We'll find whatever mark he's left in it. We'll find in the DVD release.
But I know what you mean. Like, this movie ain't going to change the world, and it could be shit. But I don't.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to enjoy it.
Something about the fact that it's his post-heart attack. Get all my friends together to do this one more time.
And it looks like it is exactly that. Let's get all my friends together and have some fun.
Like, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was the end of the View Askew universe.
Yeah.
Then Clerks 2 was like, actually, we've got one more thing we want to say. This now kind of feels like the after party. And
it would have been nice to see Clerks 3 and see how Dante and Becky and Randall had developed as people.
Yeah.
But this'll do.
Think Joe Quesada will have a cameo in this as a pizza delivery man?
One can only hope.
One can only dream. Especially Joe Quesada.
He's not doing anything else at the moment, let's face it.
He ain't busy. He ain't heavy.
He's my brother. Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance.
Fuck me sideways.
Looks great.
It looks amazing.
What more can we actually say about it?
I like the fact that the trailer is attached to the end of a little featurette about...
Well, it's already
here's how we made this.
It's already had a proper trailer.
But like,
this is just a Comic-Con sneak peek.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you sort of... Purposely because you get, like, the glimpse of them doing the running and things like that.
Well, that's partly one of the things that makes it so exciting.
Yeah, all practical. I know a few people who have worked on this. It is as practical as they come.
I'm really excited.
Digital work has only been used to remove creases and green screen elements.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of matting in it, which is understandable.
This is a real solid world, and as a result, it looks so exciting. And Louis Leterrier directing.
Yes.
And he makes a great point in the featurette they released for Comic-Con, which is like, I want people to watch this and almost immediately forget that they're watching puppets. And then they show that trailer reel and you go, yep. Yeah, these are living, breathing creatures. I believe this. If you want to get hyped for it, you got a month from now before it hits Netflix. Go watch the original. The series is a prequel, so
yeah,
go watch the post-apocalyptic, like, what happened years later version that already exists on DVD and Blu-ray, and then watch the Age of Resistance when it comes out. It looks so good.
I'm really jazzed.
And there's also next month, or it's tail end of this month. No, it's the tail end of next month, going in September. There's an exhibit in London, a free exhibit that you can go in and see props and costumes and puppets from the show.
Oh yeah, I saw an ad for that. Yeah.
So might have to do a road trip one weekend or something to get a Dark Crystal on.
Okay.
Rub up against the Skeksis.
I want to rub up against that dark.
I'm gonna grab a Gelfling and
crystal,
stick it in my butt.
Pardon me for that awful belch. It was very rude of me.
It smell like Gelfling.
Look like Gelfling. Smell like Gelfling. A few TV trailers we can sort of rattle through because we have not got a great deal to say about them. Other than they look mostly interesting.
They look like things.
Snowpiercer.
Cool.
TV adaptation of the graphic novel, which was previously released as a film starring Chris Evans.
Is it a one-off series adapting the graphic novel from beginning to end?
Who knows?
Because this is one of those where I'm like, this is a great concept, but I think a film might be a more concise way to tell the story.
Yeah.
We'll see. Jennifer Connelly in it. Sets are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and it must have been an absolute nightmare to shoot. Like, for such sort of condensed sets. Must be a lot of forced perspective to make that work, otherwise.
I don't think you get a sense of scale, though, of just how big the train is compared to the passengers.
True.
I think the train is a lot bigger than we think it is.
Speed, need, greed. Mead? Maybe? Looks fine. Looks good.
The Flash, Season 6.
Yep.
Bloodworks, it's The Flash. We're getting to Season 6 of The Flash. I have no interest in it. I'm happy it exists.
We both fell off at the end of Series 3.
Same goes for Season 8 of Arrow. Like, I have not particularly any interest in Arrow, but I'm happy it's there because people like it.
Yeah.
And
it's cool that we're getting to the season finale of a show about Oliver Queen.
I know, right?
Like, rewind before the show existed and think if that would ever have been a possibility or something you could imagine happening. Well, it happened.
It's one of those things, like, I've not really got any interest in Supernatural, but I am glad that there is a space in this world for a show about two brothers who hunt demons to have 15 seasons.
Over what, like 14 years?
Yeah.
It's mental.
That's brilliant.
That's mental. But I'm happy for them.
Even if I'll probably never get round to watching it. But, you know, never say never. Supergirl Season 5.
Looks cool.
She's got a new costume. Lex Luthor's back.
Lex Luthor in power armor.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's from this season or if that's a shot from an older season. With a lot of these trailers, I'm looking at these and going, is that from this season or is that stuff from an older season to establish what is going? I don't.
I mean, either way, well, CW sizzle reels are always weird. Like,
yeah,
before the series starts, they'll do a sizzle reel where it'll be like a trailer, but it'll be a 5-minute trailer that shows you.
Yeah.
Like, I remember watching the Supergirl Season 1 sizzle reel.
Yeah.
It was basically the pilot condensed into 5 minutes, and you're like,
it's like,
why?
How much of this is recap? How much of this is new stuff? But either way, CW DC shows, cool.
Happy for them.
Cool. They're
amazed that Legends of Tomorrow is still being made.
Yeah, but I didn't see anything from Legends like this. Although, of course...
Oh, Black Lightning.
I'm not sure that's a CW show.
No, but it is in the Belanti that they've confirmed since.
Okay.
It's not going to cross over with them anytime soon.
I'm not sure what's going on with Black Lightning. It's on Netflix, I haven't watched it.
Surprised we didn't get any Batwoman footage.
No, they've done a full trailer for that. We've got some like little tiny snippet trailers, but like nothing plot-wise. Like there's one with a bunch of people getting Batwoman tattoos.
Right.
Like, just going to this tattoo artist and he's like, oh, here's another one. And he's just giving loads of people these Batman tattoos. And then...
Meanwhile, Batman is somewhere off-screen for legal reasons going, hey.
And then Kate Kane's like, oh, this is really popular. And then she's like, walks out all smiley because everyone's getting tattoos of her symbol on her. And like...
Well, her symbol.
Yeah. And...
What's this? A copyright notice from Wayne Enterprises?
I know, right? Well, the trailer that they did for it about 2 months ago now was like, oh, the Bat's deserted us and he's not coming back. So the basic idea is that Batman exists, but
they'll never say Batman outright for legal reasons.
Well, but he's retired.
Which is so dumb.
So Kate Kane takes up the Batmantle. You see. Yeah,
fine.
I'm interested in it. I'll be interested to see when it comes around. Finally, of the trailers and footage that we did before we get into the big panel, we're only an hour and a half into the show. We're about to get to the big one. Harley Quinn, the animated series from DC Universe. How you feeling?
I like the art style, a lot. I think it looks cool.
Yeah,
it's sort of a step above the DC animated straight to DVD films, which people love, but I find mostly bland.
How are you feeling about Kaylee Cuoco as Harley?
Don't give a fuck.
I don't know if we're getting enough of it.
I need to see more clips, really, but it just... Yeah. She's the second Big Bang Theory alumni to play the role in the last few years, and neither voice has said Harley to me. I get that they want to mix things up, and I get that because it's that kind of thing. It's the classic Warner Brothers thing that they do with the DC animated originals nowadays, which is we will cast names in these roles, and it doesn't always pay off. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work. They cast a lot of CW big teenage drama shows and occasional movie stars in them, and it doesn't quite work. Crisis on Infinite... not Crisis on Infinite Earths. What was the Crisis with Owlman, the DVD film?
Crisis on Two Earths?
That's the one. Crisis on Two Earths. James Woods in that is Owlman, for example. It's impressive that James Woods is in your straight-to-DVD animated movie, but at the same time, his performance isn't particularly standout in any way. And that seems to be the tradition. It's, we're going to cast this person, we're going to cast this person. Like, happens all the time. Return to Arkham. Assault on Arkham is a DC animated original straight-to-DVD movie that isn't in the continuity of the others. It's in the continuity of the Arkham games. And it's a nice little PS. It's basically a Suicide Squad movie set in the Arkham world. And it's a nice little, side thing. But they recast some parts. Like, I can't remember who it is, but someone else plays Riddler. And he sounds and acts nothing like Wally Wingert, who is the Riddler in those games. Who has that incredibly annoying voice, Dark Knight! And all that stuff. It's just this, like, hi, I'm Edward Nigma. I'm the Riddler, hello. And it's just like, what? And I read into it, it was like, oh, it's someone from a CW show. Right. Harley's in it. She's a main character. She's not voiced by Tara Strong. It's like, why? And it's somebody from a thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't... A big name does not necessarily a good voice actor make.
It doesn't make sense.
And that's the main takeaway I'm getting from this Harley trailer, is that it doesn't sound right. Be it the casting. Basically, if it ain't cast by Andrea Romano, openly, without any interference, they get it wrong. But also, it just feels like it's, let's show off how much we're going to swear because we're going to do that because it's an R-rated cartoon.
It's the Torchwood effect.
Yeah. Fucking Torchwood.
Fucking
30
Torchwood.
seconds in, we've set the tone. Do you know what I mean? It's just, no. And I like the book that it's leaning into. The recent years of Harley, the New 52.
Let's Make Harley Deadpool.
Yeah, like, I read the first 2 years of that and I had a great time. That's fine. But, no. No.
But, no. No.
Hopefully it'll make some cool action figures, though.
Yeah, maybe. The designs look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms
Could have put the money into another Swamp Thing, but whatever.
So,
a needle pulling thread.
the big one, the one we were all expecting. Marvel Studios.
Oh, I thought it was what we do in the Shadows panel we were going to talk about.
Apparently, people are shouting "bat" at Matt Berry on the tube pretty frequently,
which makes me very happy.
But me and Kenisha,
they're also filming Series 2 right now.
Me and Kenisha are considering what we do in the Shadows Halloween costumes.
Do it. Do it. And make out the party invitations in creepy paper.
Crap paper. Creepy paper. I think my favourite thing about watching that, seeing images from that What We Do in the Shadows panel is that Kayvan Novak does not wear a wig and fake beard.
Yes.
Fernando, he just grew it out and looks incredible.
It suits him. It freaking suits him.
He looks like a fucking wrestler.
I'm assuming there were some wig extensions maybe for that first series, but he's obviously just grown it out since.
It's really good. It's a good look, man.
It suits it. My God. And what I love about that as well is that panel was happening concurrently with the Marvel one. Like, that one started like a minute after the Marvel one finished. Jesus. So Taika Waititi's there for that like final moment of the Marvel one and getting that photo, and then he ran out, grabbed a drink, changed shirt, and went to join the What We Do in the Shadows panel.
Brilliant.
Which is great.
Oh yeah, because we got some good Taika news.
But we fricking did.
We'll
Jojo Rabbit.
To that.
Let's hit him up. So Marvel Rock Up.
In Hall H.
This could have been a victory lap and nothing else.
They could have just rocked
up. They could have just rocked up, put the Endgame logo on the screen, and just Kevin Feige could have just got his penis out, and everyone in that hall would have filleted him.
Just whirlwinded it.
Yeah.
Just windmilled it round.
And everyone would have blown it kisses. Like, that could have been the panel. That could have been it. And we all would have gone, best panel of the year. Because Marvel don't do Comic-Con every year. Marvel Studios don't do Comic-Con every year on a big way. Like, Marvel Television does stuff, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. obviously pop up, like, yearly, and the Netflix shows have had panels, but they tend to have panels more at New York Comic-Con. But, they do that. Marvel Studios doesn't really do Comic-Con. Doesn't really rock up. But when it has, it's been fucking notable. Back in 2013...
They got an old bombshell to drop.
Yeah, back in 2013... No, back in 2012... Loki came out on stage.
Yeah.
In full Dark World costume, in character, to present the first sneak peek of the Dark World about a year and 3 months before it came out. Because they were like, we've got some footage. Fuck it. Like, we've already started filming it. Here we go.
Why
you know what I mean? Like, when they go big, they go
They do go big. They do go big.
Like, the reveal of Brolin.
Yeah.
A couple years back as being Thanos. No, it would have been 2014.
It was pre-Guardians.
Pre-Guardians coming now? Oh god, no, it was 2013.
Yeah.
2013. Oh my god, 6 years ago. 2013. Brolin just came out there, announced that he's playing Thanos, and his first appearance would be in Guardians of the Galaxy. And he came out wearing a giant Infinity Gauntlet prop. Just like gave everyone a thumbs up with it and stuff. It was like, this is great.
Because Josh Brolin
Is the Brolin
don't
he
give
is.
a fuck.
But they don't do it every year. And
No.
they haven't really needed to the last couple of years because they've not wanted to give anything away, what with Infinity War and Endgame. They've not wanted to spoil anything. Well, now they've come to the end. Endgame is the big finale of Phase 3 and arguably the first 10 years.
And then
the beautiful little coda of Far
yeah.
From Home to wrap things up and call it a day.
Absolutely.
We finally hit, as we've discussed before in the podcast, a period of what's next then?
What do we do now?
We don't know for sure. We fucking know now.
Oh boy, do we!
And even then we don't know entirely, because at the end Kevin Feige just casually drops another few things that are in development.
So,
A needle pulling thread.
get your mouth around this.
Do you want to hit us with... have you got the lists there?
I've got the list.
Do you want to hit us with the Plus shows first?
The Plus shows first. Okay, so...
Because Disney Plus starts later this year, and the first Marvel project starts on it early next year, is that right?
No, the first Marvel show on Disney Plus drops with Disney Plus.
So in November?
Yeah.
Oh my god, so we're getting The Mandalorian and this.
I might not be day one, but it's going to be before the end of the year.
The first... Oh, is it year one release? Because it could be any time.
It's fall 2020.
Oh shit, no, we're getting Disney Plus the end of this year. Yeah. It's 2019.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. I'm a year ahead. I'm an idiot.
It's all right.
Yeah,
Because
sorry.
the big launch.
Sorry.
The big launch incentives are The Mandalorian.
Yes.
And Lady and the Tramp remake.
Sorry. We are getting...
Sorry, let me rephrase that. The two things they're releasing, one of which sounds interesting, one of which sounds like a Lady and the Tramp remake, are The Mandalorian and the Lady and the Tramp remake. Yeah. But we're getting next year, sort of late summer, early fall, the first full-on show, which is...
Falcon and the Winter Soldier!
So basically Captain America, the TV series.
It's post-Endgame. It's probably going to be about Falcon working out how to become Captain America.
With Bucky. We
With
finally have a project that is
Bucky.
Cap and Bucky up to shenanigans.
We've got the return of Daniel Bruhl as Zemo with the purple mask. That's kind of all we know.
They showed footage at Comic-Con, including Bruhl putting on a purple mask.
Which we've seen an image of on Instagram since. I think Daniel Bruhl showed it on his Instagram.
He's done it since then, yeah. Because they've begun shooting it, but they're not in the thick of it yet. He gave away on the IMDb interview with the Russos and Marcus and McFeely when he popped up. Anthony Mackie gave away that he tried the costume on at his house for the first time a week ago. So 2 weeks as of this podcast coming out.
Okay.
So he, the costume, which says to me, not Falcon. Says to me, goddamn Captain America.
I'm interested to see that.
That sounds about right for a TV production thing. They don't, unlike film, TV production isn't necessarily, here's all the elements, and now we shoot. TV tends to be, here's what we need for the first block. Let's get going. During block 1, here's what we need for block 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is happening. I can't wait. Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie rocked up at the convention and made an appearance, said hi, and presented footage.
I think most of the cast of these various projects appeared.
Yeah,
with some surprises.
Yeah,
we'll get to.
Because Sharon Carter's back in this one as well.
Doesn't mention it here, but
they revealed that.
Me.
They revealed that last month that she was coming back when they revealed that Daniel Bruhl was going to be
I think
as well.
we mentioned that actually.
So, star-studded affair.
Spring of 2021.
Yeah, boy.
WandaVision. Hate that title.
I like it a little more, and I'll tell you why.
Why is that?
The logo sold it to me.
Yeah, I guess.
The logo. Traditionally, the logos tend to change with the Marvel announcements. At least the ones prior to the 2015 big reveal announcement. All the ones prior to that had different logos by the time the film came around. And some of them in that had different logos. Like Thor Ragnarok's title treatment and everything was way different. But WandaVision's is a neon light, like a 50s diner sign. It's one word with a capital V for Vision. But around the eye of Vision is like a little RKO style, transmission little signal thing coming out. which to me has made me like the title more, weirdly, because it's not some weird hybrid of their names. It's alluding to something.
So
I don't think the vision. I think the capital V is misleading us.
This
We
is
know Paul
another-
Bettany's in it, but the capital V is not standing for Vision. WandaVision is the title,
this is another post-Endgame series.
which makes everyone go, "What? But Paul Bettany's in it? The Vision will be in it." It's
Obviously,
like, yeah.
with the Scarlet Witch taking the lead.
Yeah, Elizabeth
And-
Olsen is back, baby! And
also-
not for the only project.
Also joining the cast is Tiona Paris as the adult Monica Rambeau.
Fuck yes! So the ongoing story of the absolute standout, adorable young cast member of Captain Marvel will continue in WandaVision. Which says to me that Captain Marvel 2 is not happening right away.
No, it's not on the slate immediately.
Yeah,
but it is
so
happening.
that makes me happy. Will she be superpowered? Will she be Captain Marvel of a
She
different universe?
somehow become Spectrum. People, oh
no, fuck that. Just go all like Captain Marvel.
There's-
This ongoing thing is now about legacies.
well, also,
Just be Captain Marvel.
also, Scarlet Witch is appearing in the next Doctor Strange movie. We also learn
Yeah.
the title of which I will get to later would indicate that there is some multiversal shenanigans going on here. So the speculation has been that WandaVision will be,
Spin out
Scarlet
of or
Witch.
lead into.
I think it's leading into.
Yeah.
So Scarlet Witch will be scouring the multiverse for the Vision.
Mm.
So that might be how we get.
And
Monica
based on that
Rambeau.
50s aesthetic and everything, I bet we're going to get some of that recent Vision solo series aesthetic of him like in a polo
Yeah, I reckon
jumper.
so.
Well, we've already had him in a bloody jumper.
Oh,
Like that
nothing-
whole
this-
pipe smoking, sat by the fireplace watching an old timey TV kind of Vision stuff, which would be
Nothing
nice.
quite as satisfying as Vision in a sweater. Loki. Again, spring of 2021. Now this, Tom Hiddleston popped up for this and he's like, oh yeah, so you know how, spoilers for Avengers Endgame, in that time travel sequence, Loki gets the Tesseract back and disappears? Well, that's what this show's about.
Oh god,
so
yeah.
that's interesting.
It is indeed spinning out of that moment, which might explain why there wasn't like any post-credit scene to show what happened. They were just like, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, no, we've got a whole post-credit scene. It's actually going to be a whole show on this thing called Disney Plus, which we're launching. So subscribe to that and you'll get to see it. But yeah, not much more to say about that. What if?
What if what?
What if?
I know, right?
An animated anthology series narrated by Jeffrey Wright
As the Watcher,
as
Uatu the Watcher.
being like, oh yeah, so this thing that happened in MCU film, whatever. What if this happened?
You remember how Steve Rogers was Captain America? What if that experiment failed, Erskine survived, and Peggy Carter became Captain America? Now,
Yeah.
that's just me speculating, but on that cast list is not Chris Evans, but Stanley Tucci and Hayley Atwell,
Yeah.
and Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
One of the most popular what if storylines of modern times was, what if Peggy Carter was Captain America?
Yeah.
They love Hayley Atwell so much that even though her show stopped, they keep bringing her
Everyone
back.
loves Hayley Atwell.
Of course we do. She's freaking adorable. She's a national treasure. She's an international treasure. I'm just saying, that better be one. This is the one. This is the show that I'm so surprised more people aren't talking about, and I think they're just sort of dismissing it a bit because it's animation. But look at that cast
Well,
list.
animation allows
Rucker,
them to get these people
Sean
back.
Gunn, Waititi, Hemsworth, Johansson, L. Jackson. Like, freaking me sideways with this. Michael Douglas alone is something that makes me go, wait, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's surprising that they've done it. But I'll tell you for why. Because these guys have been told, hey, we'll pay you this to record for how many days, and it's part of the MCU thing. You want to do it? Great, let's do it. And then they've gone, right, who can we get? We've got them. Let's write these stories.
Yeah.
I am most excited, weirdly enough, because Karen Gillan's on there, bless her heart.
Oh.
But I am most excited for the fact that fucking Josh Brolin is one of the cast members. How is that not exciting more people? That's a what-if story with Thanos in it.
Okay.
Like, what story are they going to tell?
Okay.
And knowing how many cast members they've got, this doesn't exclusively mean that each person is going to anthology style just be in one episode. Some of these actors could be in multiple episodes.
The possibilities are literally endless.
Imagine if the freaking finale was what if Thanos succeeded and we get a story where Endgame doesn't happen, but something in the traditional what if style. It's never just what if that happened. It's always what if that happened, and then this happens. And you have to do it. Like Thanos doesn't destroy the stones, or whatever. What happens next? What if we get the Mad Titan becoming mad with power? You know what I mean? Like,
or becoming madder with power.
Yeah, well, they indulging.
Madder with power.
I mean, Tucci! The Tooch! They're gonna do a period piece Captain America story. Holy shit!
I'm excited.
I'm so fucking excited for What If.
I guess we're getting Disney Plus. Right, let's talk about the movies.
No. There's more TV shows.
Let's talk about... No, there isn't.
Hawkeye.
Oh shit, I completely forgot about Hawkeye.
Everyone forgets about Hawkeye!
I wonder why.
Jeremy Renner returns in Hawkeye, a show where they gave us no other details except that it is set after Endgame, and it will feature as the other main character, Kate Bishop.
I thought it was set in between Infinity War and Endgame. I thought it was about Ronin.
No.
Post-Endgame.
Post-Endgame.
Are they all post-Endgame?
And they announced that it is taking its inspiration from My Life as a Weapon.
Which is a weird fit for the MCU version of Hawkeye.
In a way, but it depends on how you contextualize it. I think it's taking its draw in terms possibly of tone and the Kate Bishop angle, not so much his situation or his life.
Yeah.
But I'm like...
The Hawkeye of the Matt Fraction, David Ayer run he's a fucking schmuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this Hawkeye might be a bit of a mess now. Like, it might be less of a... He's a bit of a schmuck and more of a... He's a fucking destroyed man because his best friend sacrificed herself and he feels the guilt of that. It could be a building up story, but all I know is they used the logo from the Fraction series.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Renner ran from the back of Hall H to the front through the audience, high-fiving people. And it was like standing ovation. And it's just that wonderful thing as a massive Marvel fanboy of old to be like,
fucking
Hall
Hawkeye,
H
man.
Just gave a standing ovation to Hawkeye. This makes me so happy.
Hawkeye.
Is that it for the TV series?
That is it for the TV series. These five confirmed TV shows and 6 confirmed films.
Hells yes.
So
Matt,
let's get into those films.
chronologically?
Yes, release date order.
Cool.
Not chronologically in terms of the panel.
Oh, that's what I mean. Sorry, yeah, chronologically.
Yes.
In terms of when we're going to see.
Release date order. So May 1st, 2020. The currently in production Black Widow.
Whoa!
Directed by Kate Shortland, written by Jack Schaefer and Ned Benson. Scarlett Johansson, obviously reprising control as Natasha Romanoff.
And playing a tree.
Of course, why not?
Scarlett, we love you, but keep your goddamn mouth shut.
You're
You're problematic.
apparently set between Civil War and Endgame.
Now that was what intrigued me because they said they're going to tell the story of Budapest, but Budapest happened pre-Avengers, unless
I
this
think
is
we're getting some flashback stuff.
possibly.
We got in the cast. We got Rachel Weisz. We got
please.
David Harbour.
Oh yes,
We
please.
got Florence Pugh,
Are they just filling it with people I fancy?
And we
Is
got-
that what's happening here?
and we got Ray Winston. So yeah, they are.
Oh yeah. Did they announce Ray Winston?
Yeah. He's in it.
Damn. Okay.
Um,
For ages, the rumours have circulated that David Harbour will be playing the Taskmaster. That rumour was false. However, the Taskmaster is in the movie.
Taskmaster is in the movie.
As seen in the footage shown to Hall H.
With
in apparently a white Iron Man suit. Not with
the
skull on it or anything. No skull. No decor. But he did have a cape and a sword.
Was it definitely a he?
Well, that's the question, isn't
That
it?
is
With the
the
Iron
question.
Man costume. Well, that to me is kind of great because what did we see in Civil War in the final fight? Tony, when he's up against Cap and Bucky, turns on a protocol and the suit starts to mimic and adapt their style
Of course.
to fight back. Well, how do you do the Taskmaster in the MCU? Give him an Iron Man costume that copies, duplicates, and mimics the moves of his opponent.
Wrong.
Oh,
How do you do the Taskmaster in the MCU? You just do the Taskmaster.
fair play. Who is David Harbour playing?
I don't think this has been confirmed.
It has. They announced it on stage.
He's the Red Guardian.
Yeah, Alexei. Or as the internet kept affectionately saying afterwards, don't you mean Sergei?
Sergei.
Which I thought was quite good.
Smirnov. Yes.
Oh dear. And he's got a sweet ass beard for the role as well. He's got like a sort of trimmed as fuck square goatee with like lighter hairs.
He's always got a sweet ass beard as fucking David. He always has.
I'm guessing Johansson's in wigs because she had her like sort of short blonder hair at the con, but we've seen set photos of her in.
I found the set photos of Taskmaster in a tank.
Shut the front door. Oh my god, show me. Yeah, it's like an Iron Man armour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that.
But definitely, I think there's some skullishness going on there. That's some skullishness.
Oh, they're playing more on the blue of the costume than the white.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm game.
Yes.
Florence Pugh is playing Yelena, what's her face?
Yelena Belova,
who in the comics
second Black Widow.
Took over after Black Widow quote-unquote died?
Yeah, she was also a villainous Black Widow.
Yeah, she was in the Thunderbolts during the Norman Osborn Dark Reign and things like that.
Yes.
I'm intrigued, man. I'm intrigued. I'm surprised we didn't get a teaser, but at the same time, I get it. Like, Far From Home is still in cinemas. It's doing its thing.
I'm surprised it took so bastard long.
What's the betting? We will get our first trailer coinciding in the weeks leading up to and coupled with The Rise of Skywalker.
It's out in May. We'll get it before the end of the year.
I don't know.
Definitely.
I don't know. I think they'll leave us long enough to forget, and then they'll go, oh, by the way!
It's out in May. We'll get it before the end of the year.
What are we getting after that, Matthew?
After that,
what's on?
November of next year.
Based primarily on the Neil Gaiman run of the same name.
Presumably.
Oh, they said of the thing, they're using Neil Gaiman as a template. Yeah.
The Eternals?
Yes. To which many comic book fans, even seasoned Marvel ones, go, who?
Who?
What?
Bat!
So... The Eternals are basically a similar idea to the New Gods, because it's what Jack Kirby did at Marvel after he came back from DC, after he left Marvel.
Yeah.
He left Marvel, went to DC, created the New Gods, came back to Marvel, created the Eternals.
Think Greek mythology meets space.
Yeah.
And add to that the fact that they're kind of tied into the Celestials, which we got a taste of in the two Guardians movies. Our theory, that we've postulated a little bit, is that it might be the story of an everyman character being brought into this world so that we have a window into it and it's not just a cold introduction to the scale.
The Neil Gaiman story is about the Eternals, someone having made all the Eternals forget who they are, so they're rediscovering who they are.
Yeah. So we could be going down that route. We have an impressive as hell cast who they've only confirmed a couple of the roles.
Now they've confirmed them.
Yeah.
Now they've confirmed them all.
Oh, hit me with your rhythm stick. Have you got them there?
Well, first of all, we got Chloe Zhao directing.
Yes.
From a script with Matthew and Ryan Firpo. And... So the casting. Angelina Jolie is indeed in it. And she's playing Thena.
Oh!
Not Cersei.
Okay.
Thena.
Okay.
Joined by Salma Hayek.
Oh.
As Ajax.
Hi.
Leader of the Eternals.
Hi, Salma. You're right.
Richard
She's not physically
Madden.
here, but yeah. It's because of the lawsuit and the
Richard
restraining
Madden
order.
is Ikaris, who's the Eternal everyone knows who looks like He-Man. Kumail Nanjiani is Kingo Sunen, who in the comics is an Eternal who spent most of his time in Japan, so he's a bit samurai. But odds with Kumail Nanjiani being South Asian, I'll probably tweet that. Brian Tyree Henry is Phaistos, who is the Eternals version of Hephaestus.
All I know is Brian needs to be more things.
Yes. Liam McHugh is Sprite. Don Lee is Gilgamesh. And Lauren Ridloff is Makari. Start shooting next month.
Hot diggity. I'm game as sin. Gaiman sin. But only because, again, the ball's on them for this. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're back in that territory now of, oh, you guys are comfortable with all these heroes you love? Cool. Here's some new shit you've never heard of.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. It's a really deep pull, but it's a more interesting pull than Inhumans.
Yeah.
Because it's not as well known, and Inhumans wasn't particularly well known, but it also means they've got a lot of freedom with it.
The adaptation can be the central word here.
Yeah.
I'm game. I can't wait. And bringing the cast out was sort of that declaration of intent.
And that is...
They're getting ready.
Well, yeah, also it's, I believe it's Leah McHugh is a deaf actress.
Yes.
So we've got our first
deaf character and...
Deaf actress, deaf character.
Deaf actor, yeah.
In the MCU. I'm going to double check that just to make sure I am right about that.
I believe it's true, by Jiminy Joves. This is the wait music. Go out and buy Michael Giacchino CDs.
I don't even know if that's true.
Hey!
I am just.
But what is true? It's the next movie.
Yes.
Quite. Meats.
Yes.
Meats. Good sir.
Meats. Next one is. Are you ready for this?
If I remember correctly, the next one is our first primarily Asian and Asian American cast.
Oh yes.
Our first story again delving with a much lesser known Marvel property outside of the comics.
Oh yes.
But not only that, they are tying it into existing history of the MCU to create a hybrid of here's a new thing, but it's going to also be about an old thing which we can't do anymore. Don't worry about it, folks. You're going to get your answers. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
February 12th, 2021.
Out of the films, I think it's safe to say this is the one I'm the most intrigued about.
Very excited for this.
Shang-Chi is the Master of Kung Fu. We've spoken about this before.
Fu.
This was one of the few films that was confirmed to be happening, but we didn't know anything beyond that.
No, we knew they'd put the casting net out for it.
Yeah. Our lead is being played by a dude who was jokingly propositioning Marvel back in late 2018. Say,
yes.
Guys, you want to talk?
Canadian Asian actor Simu Liu, who is a member of the cast for the Canadian comedy series Kim's Convenience.
Oh, right, yeah.
He is our Shang-Chi.
Master of Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Not only that, Awkwafina's in the movie.
Awkwafina is in the movie. Her role has not been confirmed.
But we can assume that she's the slightly lighter touch to the story, because there will be a bit of the sort of atypical master-student self-importance thing going on when it comes to the Kung Fu side of things.
Oh, I was completely wrong,
about...
by the way. It's not Leah McHugh who's the deaf actress. It's Lauren Ridloff who's playing Makari.
I'm
an idiot, sorry.
That's alright. You're not an idiot. But you are...
I got them wrong.
Also in possession of the casting of a very significant Marvel character, because we're meeting Shang-Chi, and we're meeting his world, but his story, as the title suggests, is going to delve into the Ten Rings, which we now know is a terrorist organization from Iron Man and Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, sort of, stealing the name of an ancient order of legend. In fact, in Iron Man 3, they stole the name of the figurehead of the Ten Rings mythology.
And he weren't too happy about that.
Yeah, he weren't too happy about that, as we later found out in Hail to the King.
Yes.
On the Thor the Dark World Blu-ray. When Trevor Slattery, Ben Kingsley's character, was taken away by somebody who wanted a word with him about his role in imitating the Mandarin.
Yes.
Turns out, all you really angry Iron Man fans who are still not over it, you're going to get your Mandarin.
Yeah, you are.
The Mandarin's in the movie.
Tony motherfucking Leung
Will be donning...
legendary fucking Chinese actor.
Will be donning the Ten Rings, man. He's going to be donning those 10 rings, presumably of power.
You're going to fucking look at Tony Leung's filmography, eh?
You're going to cast a Mandarin. You're not just casting a Mandarin on the second go-around because you want them to be like, I'm a terrorist, and the 10 rings are a symbol of the organisation. No.
No.
No. Those rings are going to be goddamn super powered. I bet it. Like Kung Fu versus what's it? Kung Fu versus alien mysticism.
Yeah.
In the non-racially charged
Do you
sense.
think we're gonna get Fing Fang Foom? And the
I hope so.
and the McLuhans. The race of dragon aliens. He gets his fucking rings off.
I really do hope so. I hope we go. Well, I mean, we've got aliens in the MCU now. Like, we can totally delve into that. It's possible. I'm just excited. This is the one that interests me the most out of all of them. In all honesty, it's got my spider senses tingling. And I can't wait. I just can't wait for this one.
I'm really excited.
And after that title, I thought that, hey, the movies can't get more promising,
and the
titles can't get more wacky.
No. So,
Scott Derrickson,
May 7th, 2021, and this is
returns.
why I believe that WandaVision is leading into this.
Yeah,
Scott Derrickson returns with
to direct, to presumably right. Yeah.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
So, Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. No. Doctor Strange
in the Multiverse of Madness.
Which sounds
yes.
like a goddamn Doctor Strange
Fuck
book.
yes. Shumagarath or GTFO.
Yes.
You do not do a film called The Multiverse of Madness
and not
do
Yagora.
Shumagarath.
Well, the MCU tends to not repeat their villains too much, so I don't think we're expecting to see Dormammu.
We might, but not as the main antagonist role.
But they haven't announced Chiwetel Ejiofor.
No.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Mordo is definitely in this.
The only casting that they've confirmed is obviously Benedict Cumberbatch and
who
Elizabeth
rocked
Olsen.
up and went, "Hey everybody," and Elizabeth Olsen, who came back out on stage to be like, "Hi again, everybody!
I'm in this one.
I'm also in this one."
I'm a magical character.
Scarlet Witch is doing a Ragnarok Hulk kind of team up where they've gone, we've got these rich characters everybody loves. Why
Let's
don't
jam
we
them
bring
together and see
some
what
of them
happens, yeah.
into the other projects?
This is
Which benefited Ragnarok no end, because everyone remembers it as that really cool Thor movie that the Hulk's in.
Yeah, I know, right?
And everyone's going to be like, oh my god, that Doctor Strange nightmarish horror movie with the Scarlet Witch in it. Like,
People are really jamming for Nightmare for this.
It's been a rumour.
I'm not massively fussed. I'd like to get Shumagarath. Maybe not. Well, Nightmare could be the main villain, but I'd like to get Shumagarath.
I want Mordo for main antagonist.
I mean, Mordo's going to be the bad guy.
It's
let's
not
be honest.
often that we've had MCU movies where the hero has faced off against their biggest nemesis, and it's been a strict sort of one-on-one scenario.
Yeah.
Cap and Red Skull in the first Cap, Thor and Loki sort of in the first Thor.
Yeah.
It's kind of it, really, isn't it? We've not really had them go toe-to-toe with their main villains, the other properties, at any point.
I think we're...
Like, even Ant-Man wasn't like, let's bring in some Ant-Man villains. It was, no, let's just bring in a different identity
can you
of Ant-Man.
imagine Ant-Man if Egghead was the villain?
Egghead is in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, yeah, of course he is, isn't
he's
he?
Ghost's dad.
Oh, yeah!
In the flashback. So he's in there. The MCU Eggman exists. I mean, even Black Panther. Like, Black Panther, you'd for his main enemy, you'd probably go for, M'Baku, as he's known in the films, or you'd go for Claw, and they were supporting players in the film. So it'd be kind of cool if we do get just Strange v Mordo. I'd be like, yes.
I think we'll probably get Strange v Mordo, but Mordo's got a guy behind the guy. So the guy behind the guy.
Well, traditionally, Mordo has done stuff on behalf of Dormammu, so yeah.
Yeah, probably.
You trust Shumagarath because you want some Cthulhu-esque nonsense.
I want some tentacles, mate.
Oh, do you?
I want some tentacles. After I watched The Void this week.
Oh, is that full of tentacles?
It's got some fucking tentacles in it.
Is that the one with the posters of just The Void and it was just tendrils?
It's the triangles with the... It's a triangle with the tentacles.
Right.
Get hold of it and give it a watch. It's fucking worth watching.
I don't know. I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
No. It's not. I don't want that kind of tentacle. Absolutely not. No penile tentacles. Thank you very much.
I didn't say penile. It's amazing
what
it's
you
amazing.
implied.
It's amazing what a creepy little
That's
dexterous tip can do.
What you implied.
Not at all. It's what you thought up, you dirty-minded individual.
So
Speaking of dirty minds,
we talked last week about Thor 4, Taika Waititi coming back.
Yeah, and his dirty erotic fanfiction.
Thor! Love and Thunder.
It sounds like a Jason Aaron arc, doesn't it? It sounds that sounds like it should be on the side of the spine of a trade. Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Well, it's funny you should mention Jason Aaron.
Yeah, because Taika Waititi mentioned Jason Aaron.
Because we are getting the return of Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, bless his cotton socks.
The return of Tessa Thompson.
Bless her amazing braid.
She is...
Her action figure for the Marvel Legends has finally been revealed, like, full-on Valkyrie armor, and it's got, like, these two amazing braid sculpts, and I'm geeking out over toys, sorry. Go on.
As the new King of Asgard, she's going to need a queen.
Yes!
Been confirmed by Kevin Feige and Tessa Thompson as going to be the first openly LGBTQ Marvel hero. Which
upsets Captain Marvel stans, because they're like, but those two are meant to be together. It's like, well, nothing says they can't be.
Someone did a great tweet of, like, imaginary dialogue from a Thor and Valkyrie scene. It's like, Thor barges into Valkyrie's room. Why are you naked? Valkyrie, I have no clothes. Thor opens her closet. Oh, but of course you do. You have this one, and this one, and this one, and oh, hi, Carol, and this one, and this one, and this one.
Oh, that's great. That's really fucking good. Well, it looks like we're going to be getting this before Guardians 3, or
we'll definitely be getting it before Guardians 3.
Or possibly just after, because I know Guardians wasn't announced on the slate.
Well, Guardians isn't announced on the slate because he's got to finish The Suicide Squad first.
True,
this
but
is coming out in November.
That has begun photography.
This is coming out in November of 2021. He's not going to have time to finish...
True.
He's not going to have time to finish The Suicide Squad, get post-production out of the way, re-gear up pre-production. I know it's mostly done, but redo pre-production for Guardians.
If anything,
and then shoot it. And then
this means because he's James Gunn hasn't said explicitly, but he said that Guardians will not be as Guardians of the Galaxy. So if he wants to keep his as close to the original as possible, you need to write out Thor.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you have a scene setting up where Thor is in his life at the start of this. You get a fucking cameo in, you get the Guardians in Love and Thunder briefly.
The question is, though, which Thor?
Because
the Thor
boys and girls.
By Chris Hemsworth, Thor Odin's son. Or the Thor as played by Natalie fucking Portman, returning as Jane Foster to take up the Thor mantle. What?
And underage sexist on the internet lose their shit.
I am
not realising
so
that Chris Hemsworth is also in the film.
I'm like, well, even so, like...
No, it's so stupid that the reactionary stuff did happen, but to a lesser extent.
I never understood the backlash against female Thor because...
Oh, no, not from those people. From just general moviegoers who are sexist and shit. Like, the same people who bitched about the Ariel casting and stuff are going like, why you got to be a woman now? They don't get it. It's like, guys, your character, the one you're referring to as apparently being usurped, is still in the movie and is called Thor. Guess what? You're getting 2 Thors!
The whole thing in the comics was, and I need to go back and reread this because I've only read the first volume of Jason Aaron's Thor with Jane Foster as Thor.
Thor Odinson is an individual.
Yeah.
He's an Asgardian.
And
but he also takes the mantle of Thor. Thor is a position.
The God of Thunder.
The God of Thunder.
So Thor Odinson becomes unworthy.
Yes.
And Jane Foster takes up the hammer.
Yes, because whoever holds his hammer should, square brackets,
they
square brackets, it is they in the films.
It is there in the films. It was he in the comics until they did this.
Yeah. Whoever they, should they be worthy, will wield the powers of Thor.
That Beta Ray Bill becomes Thor in all but name.
Because he borrows Mjolnir, because he's worthy, beats the shit out of whatever's, and then when Odin comes to collect Thor, basically, from that adventure, he's like, you know what? You're great. Boom! Here's your own Mjolnir. It's called Stormbreaker.
Oh, no.
Enjoy!
He makes Odin's son and Beta Ray Bill duel out to be Thor.
Yeah.
Like,
that's how it happens before the...
Yeah. He's like, you're both worthy, so let's see of you who's the most worthy. And, like, pits them against each other.
And everyone's like, Odin, you're a dick. And he's like, yeah, no.
Yep, I am.
I know.
Like father, like son, eh? So...
I was having breakfast with my mate Zeus. We were swapping stories about how rapey we can be.
And how arrogant dicks are our sons. Can't wait to get an MCU Hercules.
Father, I've returned. Oh, shit. Yes!
yes.
Oh my god, now you've said it, I want it.
MCU Hercules. Please.
Played by John Cena.
And also, gay as the day is long, please.
Yes! Played by John Cena.
Can we have
Yes!
more gay in my MCU?
John Cena, a, like, very loud, ally, proponent and activist for LGBTQ causes.
Yeah.
Immigrant stuff. Like, he's that one all-American symbol who keeps going, yeah, but you guys do realise all that prejudice shit you're doing is un-American. I'm going to fight for the opposite side of that. It's like, you're amazing. I want him to play Hercules.
Well,
I want him to play as gay as the day is long Hercules in the MCU.
One of the more well-received versions of Hercules recently was the Extreme X-Men series that they did a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Where it's a dimension-hopping X-Men. But Hercules was a character and it was in a relationship with his university's version of Wolverine.
Oh my god, that's freaking adorable. As weird as that sounds to say, but that's adorable. The idea that there is a Logan out there who actually finds love and contentment.
With Hercules of all people.
With Hercules.
It's perfect matching.
Of course you find love and contentment with Hercules. Drink mead all night long.
November 5th,
hang out with
2021.
gods and superheroes.
We're getting fucking Taika Waititi doing another Thor movie with
Jane Foster Thor.
What could possibly get better? Well,
I love the title as well. The fact that it looks like Thundercats and
it's so
and
80s.
Fire and Ice and things like that. It's got that vibe to it.
So not on the slate, but still coming. Kevin Feige confirmed.
Giggity.
We're still doing Black Panther 2. We're still doing Guardians 3. We're still doing Captain Marvel 2. Fantastic Four is coming.
And he also mentioned mutants.
Mutants are coming.
So whether or not we're getting, I think that's a hint. I think we're not getting an X-Men movie yet.
No.
But the mutants are going to be established during Phase 4.
I feel like, or that we're getting multiple mutant characters across multiple films.
Oh my god! I've just had an idea for what the next end of phase kind of connecting story could be.
What?
Well, what's happening now? They're setting up mutants, right?
Yeah.
The idea that they are out there in the world. Imagine if they start seeding that through these stories.
Yeah.
They're also setting up that Scarlet Witch is now getting involved in dimension and reality hopping shenanigans.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Imagine if they did House of M.
They're going to do House of M.
Holy shit. For those who don't know, House of M was a storyline where basically Scarlet Witch was not in a good place and was being kept to one side by her father, who I guess canonically they can do now if they want.
Well, they've re-retconned it so it's not Magneto anymore.
In the comics?
In the comics.
They could totally do that in the
But they could
totally do that in the
it
films. Because their parents died in the bomb fallout.
Yeah.
Apparently.
But there's also the thing of, if she
is... Yeah, she's not in a well place and her powers get triggered like fucking crazy while she's under Magneto's watch and the universe is splintered into a brand new timeline.
But also
where
she
mutants
goes...
don't exist. Oh, no, mutants do exist in the House of M timeline, don't they? Because they reign supreme because Magneto's sort of manipulated
it's a universe where mutants are the ruling class.
Mm.
But it's not as dystopic as Age of Apocalypse.
No, but it's that thing where certain characters know something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like Wolverine's healing factor keeps healing his brain.
So he knows
because it's essentially what's happened is everyone's brain has been damaged slightly to not recognise any telltale signs that there was a different life.
Yeah.
But Wolverine keeps healing. And he's like, this isn't right. And you find out that all the mutants with healing factors are feeling the same way because like Mystique is realising there's something wrong. And it's like, oh shit! It was a great excuse for them to just every book to be different for a couple of months and then tell weird stories. Spider-Man was a mutant TV star,
but he had
not actually a mutant.
He had to pretend he was a mutant.
Yeah, to not be fucking destroying his like bodyguard as Rhino, and he's married to Gwen Stacy, and God, there's some cool stories during the House of M thing, like the House of M experiment, and then it all ends, and at the end of it, Wanda in a horribly sort of like. Traumatized, entranced state basically whispers the infamous words at the end of the event, mutants no more.
No more mutants.
No more mutants. And boom. Suddenly, like, only a tenth of the mutant populace still exists.
Deactivates the X gene and reduces the worldwide mutant population to 198.
Yeah, which is a fucking shocking story that you could do in the MCU where maybe if you're introducing mutants throughout it,
I think
then that happens and the Xavier School becomes like a safe haven.
I think you'd do it backwards. I think she would
create
a universe with mutants and somehow
they've always been around.
but they were erased somehow.
Yeah.
And then when we come out of that universe, they are there like they always were.
Yeah. God damn it.
But that's how you get them into that universe, having always been there, but without... Yeah, it's how you retcon them in.
Write it now. Well, that's amazing. That's all they announced. That's absolutely everything they announced as they handed out Black Widow caps to the audience as a souvenir. Everybody in Hall H got a Black Widow baseball cap, an official baseball cap for the film, based on the ones that I'm guessing everyone's wearing on set. Like, you know, that's really cool. Oh, but wait. There's someone else over here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just bring out my friend, said Kevin Feige, gesturing stage left.
Let me bring out my friend, Oscar winner, Mahershala Ali.
Who's already been in the MCU. He played Cottonmouth in Luke Cage, but as we know from Luke Cage, with Alfred Woodard, some of these actors get given a second bite at the apple to play different roles.
Well, after winning his second Oscar, he comes out and Kevin's like... They have a conversation. Him and Kevin Feige have a conversation. Kevin Feige's like, okay, what do you want to do? Carte blanche, blank check. What movie do you want to do with us?
And on stage, that took the form of, you got a different hat there. What hat have you got? As Mahershala unfolds his cap, sticks it on his head, and the cameramen working the shots for those big screens in Hall H earn their paycheck that night, as everybody looks very fucking closely at the beautiful logo on his hat, which then forms on the words on the screen behind him.
Blade. Fuck.
The MCU version of Blade. Now, I'm in such a weird place with this. I really want to see it. And I think Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is setting us up. Because Scott Derrickson said that is going to be the first horror movie of the MCU.
Yeah.
Unless the rumours are true and they're going to be retconning New Mutants to be an MCU movie.
I don't think they are.
No, same.
I think they'll probably just ignore that.
I think they'll just zap it into non-existence.
Straight to video.
Pay all the cast members like $5 million each, random extra payment, and go, shut up about New Mutants.
Never talk about this again.
Shut up about New Mutants.
It didn't happen. Josh Boone? Who's Josh Boone?
And then just quietly put it out on Netflix.
Sorry? Who's Josh Boone? Oh no, that's just my slave.
Oh god! Yeah, so that alone is great because it means that this might be, this will fit in great. This will be the second horror movie. It's not got a set date yet, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to follow the ones that they've announced.
When they announced Phase 3, look at how much that changed around.
It's entirely possible Blade could come out like 2021 because the way the slate's mapped out at the minute is it seems to be like 2 a year.
Yeah.
So you could totally slot a third and or fourth in if you wanted. So I'm excited. Again, phenomenal actor. He's a great choice for the part. Over on Twitter, someone's been bitching. Can you guess who?
No, he hasn't though.
Did you see the tweet?
Wesley Snipes
motherfucking Snipes. Wesley Tax Dodger Snipes.
See, I found this.
Wesley, really entertaining and really good in the first two Blade movies, Snipes.
So...
Emphasis on in the first two.
In an interview with Entertainment Weekly...
Yeah, when was this?
This news article is from yesterday.
Oh, okay, right, okay. Can I say my thing? Because I think my thing precedes this interview, so I'm interested to see how it developed.
Okay.
He tweeted about a day and a half, 2 days ago, just like, the tweet said something like, MCU, what have I said before? We've been down this path already, referring to the fact Blade was recast for the TV series, which was not to do with the films anyway, but that was the point he was making, because even around that time he was like, why is it not me? I don't get it. And it's like, for fuck's sake, Wesley.
Because they can't afford you, Wesley.
Yeah, and also you were an absolute cunt to everybody on number 3, so why would they want to work with you? But apparently, he has had meetings with Disney in regards to Blade in the last year. So there must have been some, like, we might be doing this, that, and the other plans. He said, like, what have I said about this before? This, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And he posted the gif of some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. And it was just followed by a torrent of tweets from the people he was clearly, like, signaling to. Going like, Wesley's the one Blade, this is fucking ridiculous!
Yeah.
Boycott Marvel! And all this, that, and the other.
No.
Right, so it sounds like he's been told or requested to do an interview.
Interview with Entertainment Weekly.
Okay, this is juicy. Right.
To all the Daywalkers losing their minds right now, chillax.
Oh.
All the news comes as a surprise. It's all good. Such is the business, inverted commas, of entertainment. Much peace to the MCU crew. Always a fan. Honour and respect to the Grandmaster Stan. Congratulations and salam to Mashallah Ali, a beautiful and talented artist whose expressions I look forward to experiencing for many years to come. Inshallah, we will someday work together. Most importantly, to my loyal fans, the incredible outpouring of love is overwhelming. I am grateful for the never-ending support. So nah fret, nah worry, it's not the end of the story. Welcome to the Daywalker Clique.
Someone's had a wrist slap. That stinks of someone's been told to shut the fuck up.
Well, somebody needs to put Wesley Snipes in his place now.
Well, that's the thing. What studio released Blade?
New Line.
New Line. Who's the distributor?
New Line.
Completely on their own.
I think so.
I just wondered whether or not they were owned by Fox. Because if so, Disney's his daddy, and Disney could slap the wrist and go, dude. Actually, I think Blade Trinity definitely is under Fox, because that was them soft piloting Ryan Reynolds to play Deadpool in an as then yet unconceived project. Because he was told that they were looking at Deadpool, that Ryan wanted a shot at that, so they said, we'll play this character in Blade, and you'll be first in line to get a look in.
You'll be first in line.
Cock-juggling thundercunt.
You cock-juggling thundercunt.
That sounds like someone's had their wrist slapped. It really does.
Quite possibly.
Oh god. Which sucks, because I saw a lot of people suggesting, and I agree with them, make him Whistler. Cast Snipes as Whistler.
Yeah.
Like, because then it's within the realms of casting and the realms of films, it's a legacy shout. But also, it's the MCU then nodding to the fact that Blade kick-started this whole shebang back in 2000. Back in 99. Like, Blade is the... Oh, was it 98 Blade, actually? The first one.
98, 97.
So Blade kick-started
It was around the same time as The Matrix, so it might even be as late as 99.
I think it was pre-Matrix.
Yeah, it was pre-Matrix.
Yeah, so it could be 98. I don't know, but point is that, like, Snipes and that Blade kick-started the run that gave us X-Men, that gave us Spider-Man, that started... Like, Blade is the match striking the matchbox, isn't it? To what we have now. Like, that's the... Here it is.
Yeah.
So, give him some due, but, yeah, don't cast him as Blade. Fuck that.
Well, the thing with Wesley Snipes is if they cast him as Whistler, then that would make Sanaa Lathan Whistler's mother.
BigDamnContact@gmail.com. You can tweet us at BigDamnCast on Twitter. We're on
fucking top
twitch.tv/BigDamnStream. And we're in your nightmares and your dreams.
You know.
We'll see you next time.
I am so good at this.